All right, everybody, welcome back to Netflix and Heal. So today, we're gonna do something great. All right, you guys. So since we are in season 2, The World and the Single Girl, I thought that it would be a good idea for us to discuss a topic that is hot and heavy out in the streets on today. And we are going to talk about relationships and dating. So usually, you guys are used to seeing Tay and Britt, but we spice it up a little bit. We switch things up. As you all know, my girl, she's right here. Dr. Keirra Goggins was on the last 2 episodes. And if I can quote you said, you were like, Tay, I'm locked in to Netflix and Heal. If I go on a podcast, they got to go through you. Yeah. So now, she's back. And she's here to stay. So she keeps her word and she's back. So I just thought that she would offer a great perspective on this podcast. And it's going to be a little different today, Key. We brought some males in the building.
You brought some males.
Okay, I did. I brought some males in the building. So today on this episode, we have 2 fellas here to offer an alternate perspective. Because I think it would be awkward of us to talk about relationships without adding a male perspective. So I want all of you to welcome Korey and Shon to Netflix and Heal. Woo! Yeah, so I'm gonna start with you, Korey. Just tell us about yourself. Just give us a little something.
Well, I'm glad to be here, first of all.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. You've been looking forward to this for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Atlanta. I'm 30. Yeah, just turned 30.
All right.
Excited to be here.
Awesome.
You gotta be young, man. Forever
You
young.
got okay. I won't by wisdom. I'm trying to age.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Shon, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, I'm Shon.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you.
I'm great. I'm from Atlanta originally, and I'm 36. I'm glad to be here also.
Awesome.
I think this is going to be spicy.
Oh! You're jumping out the gate. I do too, Shon. I have to agree with that. I do too. I turned the heat up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to be
This is a first for me, too.
This is your first podcast experience? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is this your first podcast experience? Yay! And you chose us.
Yes.
Hey, going good. All right. Look at that. All right. So, as you all know how this goes, we just going to talk it out. But I'm going to start. I'm going to get right into it. So, I'm going to start with y'all, fellas. So, let's talk about this. Yeah. So relationships. All of us here are Jesus followers, Christ believers. We all love the Lord with our whole heart, mind, body, and soul. So we'll start there. Knowing that and having that as the anchor to our lives, how does that affect you all when it comes to dating someone or even being in a relationship? Whoever wants to go first. Don't
Want me to go first?
Lead off.
You the oldest one. I'll start. Well, for me, it's quite simple. It's totally different. It has to be totally different. If we date like the world did, what's the difference? So, literally, God leads our life, so we can't do any and everything that everyone else does. So it looks totally different in the sense that we can't be where everyone else is. We can't do what everyone else does. But we can keep ourselves in Him. So I think that's the main difference.
Okay.
The world can just date how they want to date.
That's true. They do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and how they want to do it.
And they don't have to answer to God at all.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no one, for that matter. Yeah. Okay, Korey. I hear you.
It's never really easy either, dating.
No, it's not.
Being who we are. It's always trials and tribulations through it. It's never just a smooth dating process. If they're in the word on you or not.
Yeah.
It's like we clash time we start dating. It starts off good, but once those challenges start coming, then automatically you tell the difference. I'm here living for him, you living part-time. So.
Well, the Bible says, don't be unequally yoked. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
The word is right.
Yeah, it is.
Every day.
No getting around it.
Ain't no getting around it. Because,
I
mean, if you put yourself in a position that is already going to fail when you start, then we know this. So why do you think, as believers, sometimes, men or women, we get into situations that we know are going to fail? If the word says that we shouldn't be yoked with unbelievers, what causes us to gravitate towards people who don't believe?
That's a good question.
So answer it.
Well, I can. I think you haven't fully died to self yet. I think that's the simplistic answer for it. You haven't died to self yet, because when you fully do that, then you will never be with someone you're unequally yoked with. And and you have that foundation and that basis to then move forward in a relationship, and then to marriage and things like that. Because if I haven't given up my addiction to whatever it is, once I meet this person in the world and they agree with me, there we go, boom. Okay. You know, and it may be one thing. A lot of people think that people that are in the world, they just do everything wrong. It may be a couple things that they just haven't worked on and done that work. Maybe they don't go to church. Maybe they don't have friends like us, to help usher them in the right direction.
Right. To navigate that. Like, okay, so because this is a podcast that isn't just solely looked on by believers in Christ, some people could be transitioning, some people could be very much so in the world. Explain to me what you mean when you say die to self. What does that mean?
Well, you have to die daily. Whatever the things that you do that are not like him, whether that's smoking, drinking, whatever, you have to die to those things, and just understand that you're not going to get where you want to be and be the person that you want to be without doing those things. And it's a daily thing. It's not, you get it right this week and next week it's just going to flow and fall in your lap like that. You literally have to do it every single day.
Okay.
So it's dying to the things that you like to do that he tells you it doesn't align with him. So that's what it means.
Okay, Key, what about you? You kind of quiet over here.
Yeah,
Talk to people.
Come on, dog.
So what?
No, but for real. No, when people jump into situations, relationships, or whatever, and for what reason, when it doesn't align, it's because flesh appeal. We go with what we see, what we're attracted to physically. I mean, we're humans. Visual is first. Why he goes and speaks to her, why she goes and speaks to him or responds, because we like what we see. And it doesn't take too much if they talking right, looking right, smelling good.
Talk about it.
You in there then, and they like, but then there comes a point. I know it was with me. I'm like, and from the beginning, like most situations, I knew I shouldn't have went past the first introduction. But I was like, let me see.
He smell good.
I was like, let me just.
The beard and
it's always the beard. Beard will get you.
This is true.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
First of all,
Vices.
wait, wait a second, because you said chocolate and beer. Let me be very clear, because I'm very honest.
No discrimination?
Wait. Chocolate didn't appeal to me till about 2017, so yeah.
Okay, you just joined the team. Clap it up.
It came out of nowhere. No, that's for real. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, we know.
So
I know.
I had to get that straight. Don't do that.
So was it light skin?
It was any. It was any shade. Now, a preference or the grand appeal is chocolate. It's just what it is. I was like, all right.
Keirra Nelly, shout out to them.
Don't be doing that.
Shout out to them.
Okay, chocolate. No.
But yeah, back to the flesh appeal. I mean, it's human nature. So it's kind of like, human first, then Christian. Okay, and just being real about it. Yeah. So I found myself in situations plenty of times. I knew it shouldn't have went anywhere, and I did it anyway. And so it's kind of like I can't really be upset because I was very mindful of my decision. So it's kind of like, well, you did it, just like I got myself in it, I got myself out of it.
Yeah.
And so now, these days, I'm very cautious in what I accept. Now my tolerance is pretty much zero for anything that doesn't align to where I want to go. Like if I don't see you, we don't connect. Like pretty much probably within the initial conversation if it's going to be anything after that.
I try to tell people that, but they don't
it's
want to believe
real.
It. They don't want to believe
I'm
it.
like, this isn't
It takes 10 minutes.
Go anywhere.
Literally.
Like when dudes come in my DMs, they usually live and die in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. I know it's not. I know.
Live and die.
It's not. All right, it's the truth.
It is.
No one has made it out of there.
Yeah, alive.
Ever. I don't think, no.
Yeah.
Just not a good place to meet her.
Father, we pray for those young men.
In the DM.
Those older men.
If you're in her DM, get out.
Please.
Today.
You're gonna die there.
You're not going to stay.
Go and delete the message.
Delete it. Unsend it.
Just not even read it.
Put it on vanish mode.
Yeah.
I read it and I leave it.
At least you saw that she saw it. That's a worse blow.
But my thing is, I have repeat offenders. If I didn't respond 6 months ago, why am I responding?
But you know what I will say?
Persistent.
Guys are they are
See,
persistent with the wrong female though.
Based off of nothing.
It's no
Based off of nothing.
You got no
I can tell you every
Wrong
time a
female.
dude gonna slide in my DMs. If I post a picture, they gonna flood the. I'm like, for what?
It's flesh.
Humans
Yes.
are
It's
based
based
And
on
that's
what-
why
it's
they
based on
die.
what you
That's
thought
their
of.
grave.
Because it's flesh. Because they
That's
just
their
want
grave
to
in the
see.
DM. Yeah.
It's flesh appeal, like you said.
And I know it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. So why?
And, yeah,
So why?
Exactly.
I have a question.
Okay.
If I can.
Yeah.
If you know it, well, how do you know it's not going to go anywhere? He just saw you. You haven't had a conversation with him.
We're here.
I'm giving them hope.
Oh no.
On
Here's the
YouTube.
thing. I'm gonna be for real. I look at the message. I hit profile.
Mhm.
I go and look at the pictures. If I see you flashing money,
Mm-hmm.
shooting birds,
Mhm.
anything like that, it's a no. And that's pretty much the ones that slide in my DMs.
True.
Gang, gang.
And I'm like, see, I always think ahead. Like my mind just goes there.
Yes.
I don't want to be associated
True.
with that.
True.
This is what you post. I'm like, we have nothing to talk about.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to waste my time, so I'm
Right.
not gonna waste yours. I value my time. Even
True.
a DM, people don't think about that as anything I do.
Mhm.
I'm not. I know
As
this
you
isn't
should, I
going
agree.
anywhere. You trying to link up, see if you can smash,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
keep it moving.
That's
You
it.
can't
That's
get none
all.
of that from me.
Okay.
So you
Smash
got it right
burger.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
Simple.
something key. That's good because I think that's what a lot of women have to understand. Like,
Mhm.
why are you even giving time and energy to something that you know
only-
isn't going
People only do
anywhere?
what you allow.
Yeah, you open yourself up to be accessible to
That
something
part.
that you know that you're not even gonna want to continue.
Exactly.
Like, it's foolish, and that's kind of in the culture now.
Mhm.
You have women just have time wasters. I don't do it myself, or I want to go out to eat, so I'm gonna just link. Girl, feed yourself and go to bed
But
because, like,
I ain't even gonna say that.
you can say it.
But
This is the space.
unfortunately, it's mostly women,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say this: they're attention hungry.
Very.
If they're starved for attention, if they get any type of bite, they're gonna go for it. Now they can say they want to go out for a meal, they want a free meal, all this. No, you want attention. You ain't gotten.
None.
Say it. Don't you hold back on this podcast, Miss
You ain't
Mama.
got none in a minute, and
Yeah.
so now
I'm
you
hot,
over there
baby.
fiending,
Uh-huh.
and somebody paying you some attention,
And it's a go.
and it's you gonna get ran through. You
You
gonna be
already
done,
know.
and now you gonna be
The
cool.
choo-choo train.
Ooh,
Lord have mercy.
chugga chugga.
I mean, we're gonna be real. That's the only way I know how to be. That's
That's
what
the only
it
way
is.
you should
like,
be
let's
here.
be honest.
It's the truth. But you said something though. You said, I know that it's nothing. So now I don't tolerate just any old thing. That makes me think about like accountability.
Mhm.
So like what like all right, let me phrase this the way I want to hear y'all respond to it. How do you all feel accountability plays a part when it comes to you being single and trying to date in this culture?
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
So with that, I have to bring in the God piece, of course.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to pursue anything with anyone, I need to be able to know that you're going to keep me accountable to that same word that you're supposed to be reading, supposed to believe in, and that you're professing. You know, if you don't call me out or catch me on something in accordance to the word, then, or you don't have the capacity to do so, we don't have no business with each other.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We just don't.
That's true.
You know, that's the accountability piece that I need. Like, and I say need because that's what I mean. You know, everyone needs that, even outside of relationships with friendships and things like that. I don't want to surround myself with anyone, friend-wise, that's not going to call me out or not going to check me when I'm stepping out of line, because I've professed this thing. I need to live this thing.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see me slipping, say something. You know, if you see me acting differently, say something. And I do the same for my friends. If something is off, I'll be like, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
What's that about?
No, she taps me.
You're going to get a text. I'm going to be like, well,
Yeah.
I saw
call.
something wrong. You know, I'm going to say something. I need that accountability.
Yes.
I
yes.
think all believers do.
Yeah.
You know, especially in a relationship. You need it.
You gotta have it. But I think sometimes like people see it as like they don't feel as though they should have someone to be accountable to or for. Yeah.
Who is this that doesn't feel that they need to be? I think everybody in this room wants to hold someone accountable. and be held accountable.
I mean, if we look at it from the perspective of us talking to people out there, some people say that like they don't think they need anyone to be accountable to or for. So Korey, since you, how would you advise a young?
Let me interject real quick.
Go ahead.
Because they see it. I'm sorry.
Come on in.
No, my thing is they see it as control.
Yes.
Of course.
They shifted it from accountability as control. Oh, they controlling me. He controlling me. He trying to tell me what to do. What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all need a dictionary.
And the
Like,
funny-
Yeah,
Yes,
take
there
those
we go.
words literally.
There we go.
Take those words
control
in their
is a-
literal context.
Yeah, it's a way of manipulation.
Yes.
And then we have to check intent. And, you know, we
Yeah.
can backtrack it.
Yeah.
You know, so do our checks and balances.
Why do you want to do that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Let's
do
go
you
to
want
the
to tell me
source,
what to
and
do?
then we can judge it accordingly, see if it's control or if it's accountability.
Yeah.
You know, but everyone in the world or whatever, even in the kingdom or believers, you know, let's keep it real. They see it as control. I'm like, I don't understand.
But usually people that see it as control are people who want to do what they want to do without anybody
This
finding
is
out.
true. This is
You
true.
just want to do what you want to
This is
do,
true.
and you don't want anybody to know.
Accountability challenges people.
It does.
So if you find an individual getting upset with accountability, then you really know you don't need to be with them.
Mhm.
So it goes back to what Keith said. You really do know as soon as you hear someone's conversation.
Mhm.
It doesn't take a long time.
It doesn't.
When it does take a long time, input denial into
Mhm.
into the
Mhm.
conversation.
That's good. That's good.
Because it's either you, them, or both of y'all together.
Uh-huh.
So
Maybe I can make them change their mind. Okay.
That changed your mind.
You done failed already.
Topic
What
right
you
there.
say,
You
Shon?
done failed
You
already.
failed trying to make
That's a
somebody
losing
change.
battle.
It is.
Because what they will
It
do
is.
is adjust.
Yes.
And then you will get used to them adjusting,
Adjusting.
and you
Yep.
think you are still pushing your agenda of
Mhm.
change,
Mhm.
and you will not see real change.
Yep.
And then when you change and get right with God,
Mhm.
then they just still gonna be adjusting, and they're gonna say,
Mhm.
"What happened?"
What happened? You'll
Yeah.
grow past them.
Mhm.
And that's what that'll happen. So, Korey, let me ask you this. What advice would you give to a young man that's in God, but is having a problem with being accountable to someone? What would you say to him?
First, you got to understand that you have to be accountable to God. I think once they get that point, then it'll be very easy to be accountable to yourself, to a woman, to those who who depend on you. You know, I think that's the missing piece. Because if you don't have that, then it's like it's freelance. You get to do whatever you want to do. A lot of people want to do what they want to do, and then they get offended when someone says, "Hey, just curtail that a little bit. Check that out. Try to move this way." And you can nudge them ever so softly,
Mhm.
but the offense will be heartfelt.
Yeah.
They'll take it, and it's like you tried to kill them, but that's not the case. So I would say to young men and women, like, become okay. It's being humble is what it is. Because when you get a level of humbleness, it's okay to then say, I can be accountable to my leader, you know, my friend, whatever. As long as you see that they can guide you in a way that's not detrimental to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, this remember Shon was like, it's gonna get spicy because it's about to get spicy right now. 'Cause I got a question.
Uh-oh.
So like,
Give it to Shon. Then.
I am
He
gonna
ready
give
for
it
the
to Shon.
spice.
He's
okay?
ready for the spice.
Alright.
Yeah. So
I like
we're
that. I like that. Give me the
Jalapeno.
So what's not okay when you dating somebody as far as accountability goes? Like, what should you not be doing? What's not okay? Everybody can tell you what's okay, but what's not okay?
What is not okay?
What's not okay?
Not okay is no support at all. I don't tolerate when you don't support what God is saying.
Okay.
So if I have a vision of God give me something,
Mhm.
and I lead and give you this, and you don't support it, or you always trying to manipulate it,
Mhm.
that's a big no for me.
Okay.
Personally, that's a red flag all day.
Okay. Tell me another red flag that you'll see in a woman that'll be like, yeah, nah.
I don't have many.
That-
I don't, because I done seen a lot of them. So what we go back to is, yes, I have. I have. So when you go back to your self-discipline as a man, like what we do as a man, self-discipline. So so it goes back to when you have a self-discipline as a man, you've seen the things that you have seen.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point where, okay, I've seen them, so now I know how to just pass them, so I don't deal with them.
Okay.
So it's just that.
Okay. Okay.
I graduated from it. So you like it's a red flag. Yes.
He graduated from it.
I
Period.
graduated from
I'm
it.
not that
So
How old are you, Keith?
old. 32.
32, 36, 30,
30.
so we all in the same bracket.
Yeah.
And you date three years old?
4 years
4 years.
older.
So
Look at God.
yeah.
Corey's cold. He's over here doing
So it's like you would entertain it. I used to entertain it. I used to
just
entertain
for the
the
fun of it, just because it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So now it's just like once I see it now, it's like okay, that's the place she's in.
Yeah.
It's a red flag, so it doesn't irritate me anymore. Now I think the younger generation they
Mhm.
like to play with it a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Well, can I ask you a question? Why did you entertain it if you knew that it was no good?
flesh.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I got a question for the ladies. What is a red flag for you guys, for men? Give me one, and then
Okay. Key, you wanna ride that one out first?
I don't.
I will.
Come on, Key.
Key don't know that. Okay, I'll say it.
Gracefully.
A red
Yeah,
flag.
gracefully.
I don't want it. Okay, a red flag for me is a man that he don't love God for real. Because I've come to find out there's a distinct differentiation between a man of God and a church boy.
Mm-hmm.
They're two totally different things.
Whoa.
Okay?
Oof.
You have men of God who actually, because I'm
I
trying
gotta
to
be quiet. You
Yeah.
mind that church boy conversation?
Yeah. Because a man of God, his life will actually make a distinction from the world. Like everything will look different. He will talk different. He'll act different. He won't even try to date you the same way that the world will. Because his life is really hidden in Christ. Like that's really who he is. He's not just telling you that's who he is. All of his actions line up to him being a man of God. A church boy just attend service and go out there and do whatever he want to do. He high on Saturday. He come to church on Sunday. He just sprayed on some polo and he just sitting there cooling. But it's like, let's go, because you really just come to church, and the only reason you're coming is because you're told to. You don't have a conviction in your heart to go there on your own. You're not trying to change. You're not trying to be better. You're not trying to get a life that looks. I ain't gonna start because I won't stop. But I'm just
Because you're on
saying.
the road.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like they will
You in
not.
the
I'm in the
place.
pocket
You in the
because
game.
I see it so much, and people think that they go to church and they date and they see a guy that's in church, but that does not mean he's in God. He's in the building. We are all in the building, and the church is a hospital for the sick. He might not be healthy.
He's critically ill.
He's
Lord.
still sick.
She's critically
You need some discernment to say, my boy's over here bleeding out. And I'm trying to patch him up. Being the lovely prayer ward. No. Key, you can have it because I'm getting a little
I mean, you really set me up nicely because I'm serious. Because what I was gonna say is when the lifestyle doesn't line up to what you profess, I can't stand it. It's so irritating. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't tolerate smoking, drinking. I don't put out, so you ain't getting that for me. So it's kind of like when you say you love God and you want to live for God and all these other things, but you're trying to hit. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Because I've had that several times, and it takes me to the edge. Because I try to maintain my salvation.
It's
this close, I'm about to lose it. I'm like, you trying to what? You want to do what?
Not the eye.
Well,
It's gone already. The salvation.
She didn't lose the salvation with the eye.
The eye. It's the
Yeah, it's like she got it.
But
Gotcha.
I can't stand it. Like, if you're not there yet, then don't play like you are. Because all that sounding good stuff doesn't appeal to me. I can play the game too.
Yeah.
I can run game, it's nothing. I'm real good.
And that's
at
a lot of things men don't want to believe, that women can run.
Oh, I
game,
can
too.
run it
Believe.
well.
I got
When I tell you
something to know.
MVP,
Y'all know-
when I tell
y'all
you
know- y'all know
I
that's
can play the game.
That's something
But
you
flip
should
what
know.
you said though.
Yeah.
You experienced that a lot with guys trying to come up to you and it wasn't what they were. Imagine how we feel as men
Yeah.
with it. You
It's
know,
vice versa.
oh, I'm so wonderful and I'm
so
equipped
sorry.
and I'm so.
Yeah, I was going to say, all I
I'm
got is a sorry.
It could be any man.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a man in church. You
True,
know,
true,
just
true,
being
true.
presented with something that's not what it is.
Okay.
You know, so it goes both ways.
I mean, that's why your vetting process has to be extensive. Like, you can't have that surface level
God
check-in
is like
stuff.
the top tier vet though. We really nothing compared to him.
This
That's why
is
we
very
get it.
That's
wrong.
true.
This is very true, but they come into you first. Now you need to go and speak to him. If you feel in some type of way trying to pursue something, then I know for sure I take it to God. Like, God, if they're not for me, please take them away. Because I know maybe not recently, but no, I love that prayer. I've
That's
said
my
it
favorite
maybe
one, Key.
4 times.
I'm trying to tell you.
Like,
They
in
be
line
leaving
with
too if
dudes.
they
When I tell you God snatched them, I'm like,
be gone.
Lord, I didn't mean that.
I just got
You didn't give me no time.
I wasn't ready. He knew you was
I
playing
meant,
with it. He
like,
knew you was playing with it.
I'm no.
serious. That's a serious
Like,
prayer
when he
coming.
takes them
Any,
quickly.
I've said
Yeah.
the prayer 4 times. I meant it every time, but I'm still human, so that emotional piece was already invested.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, now I got whiplash because you snatched them. It's like within the week every time. And,
Yeah.
the reasoning, whether it was a breakup, they disappeared, or they ended it, I'm like, all right, you answered that. Appreciate that, big dog.
I got
Because I couldn't do it myself.
Well, I'll be
I have
pulling
a
tracks
horrible
out
story
for
about
us,
that
man,
because
don't
mine
you?
happened
Get up
openly
about
and publicly. You remember that?
it. Not you got called out.
It publicly.
I remember.
In front of everybody. I was like, well, that's the end of that, God.
Sir.
Ooh.
At the altar.
NTK.
Yes, she did.
It was
Oh,
done.
my God.
You know that.
You know what? You remember that one you tried? I was like,
I said, dang, I know him too.
and Keith
Not
sitting
the
there.
best friend to agree
That-
with. Mama, stop.
She was sitting there like,
Mama.
he over there like, she was like, dang.
You didn't go console her.
Listen, don't do that.
That's your friend.
No, we just let that
Baby, you
be.
need it.
But I can laugh about it now because I'm so thankful for it. Like, it was
Because we know what came of
we
that.
knew what came of that. That was
Yep.
about to be ugly. So I was like, whew, thank you. But yeah. So you guys said that, y'all know that women be out here putting on.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like, what they be doing? I mean, I am a woman. I
It's,
don't put on.
it's the same thing Key was describing about men. It's a facade. You come looking
It's
nice
part of
and
the
act like
culture,
you're
too.
poised and
It's the new culture.
professional, and then you get it, and it's like, okay, it's not professional, it's not well put together, it's not ready to commit, it's not understanding, it's not. You can just keep throwing words out there. I'm pretty sure y'all can do that for me, and it's
men do it.
once
It's
you get
ratchet.
past the looks.
It's ratchet. It's
could be-
hood.
Yeah, it could be professional hood too.
No,
I don't
very
mind a little
professional.
bit. I really don't.
No, it balances it out. But when
Key
you
word,
just,
my brother,
it
balance.
balances it out.
It
But
has
when
to
it's over the
balance.
top, it's
Because
like,
if one overdoes it,
nah.
then we got a problem.
Okay, so let me see. Which one overdoing it the most is like a no-go? Is it she really love God and you want her to be a little bit, because Keith just said a little hood is okay.
It's fine.
It's okay,
I
which
like
it
to
is
pass
okay.
through the hood sometimes.
A little thug.
Because you gotta be able to relate.
What does a little thug consist of? And how does that line up with what God wants with you?
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
I
Hold
feel
up.
like you trying to take this away. It's
No,
not
no, no.
supposed to go. Wait a second.
Oh no, you guys! What are we doing,
I
Corey?
just want to know.
What are we doing?
We not too deep in it like
I just
that.
want to know.
Not
Wait.
that kind of.
It's
hood.
more like presentation. Like
Of
I
course.
like little rough, a little edge.
Okay,
Just like that. I ain't gonna
Okay.
talk about it.
presentation wise.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get clarity.
And when the situation calls for it.
Of course. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So
Yeah.
if you're, going a little rough at him, he can get you back in line. That type
Not
of thing?
even no, because
Okay.
I don't need to be put back in line.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do that.
God
well.
should do that.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
true. That's very good.
Understand.
Now, if you
That's very good.
if you're speaking to me, from him in the right manner, if your presentation is correct, then I'll accept it. But no, there's no
It
getting
was
me
the
back in
hand for
line.
me.
Yeah.
Because there's a way to do things. Presentation
It
is
is,
everything.
it
is.
So,
This is true.
I know what, I deserve and how I should accept things. So if you don't present it in a manner, then
Good
you're
luck.
gonna see the other side
Okay.
of
Okay. What about you?
What?
What do you
Not
got
what,
to say?
host? You're supposed to be keeping up.
She didn't know I was gonna pop a question.
Right.
Because I'm trying to figure out who's hosting the show. Is it Corey or Tay? Because at this point,
This side, y'all.
I'm gonna just go
they
y'all
own
channels.
it. They own it.
We are co-hosting apparently.
Yeah.
But the question was what hood?
Yeah, what you like a little bit in there. So what is your thing that you like in there, or we'll just stick with the little hood in there?
I'm just saying, like, don't be a square.
True.
Like,
Okay.
understand that as African American women, we're not a part of the culture, but we know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can only listen to Kirk Franklin in your car, I would like to.
Kirk turning out some bangers for the streets at this point.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, just be whole in everything. Don't just not know how to relate in any way. And I'm not saying that like a bad thing, because a lot of people, they just throw their humanism out the window when they meet someone. They're like, oh, we don't do. No, you do, and you have, and you know it. So let's talk about it.
Being in
Don't
Kingdom
try to
doesn't
act like.
mean stale.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and having some type of, just.
Personality.
That's the word. Like,
Big word,
just you're
yes.
dry.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be hood, but it does need to. You got to have something about. You like
Fun.
art?
Fun.
Do you like something else?
You have a personality preference.
Do I have a personality?
It sounds like you
She's
do.
telling you. Actually.
Yeah, I
Is
do.
that
Yes.
I do.
It's very specific.
It's very specific, but I mean, it's like not be so.
Fun,
square.
not square.
Not a square. Thank you, Shon.
Not artsy.
I swear.
No, I'm not saying artsy. I'm saying
Because
like
personally, I've
something.
never met just a bland, just square person before, like in a woman. I never just met a woman that was just boring. Didn't have no, for real. Didn't have a little hood. Didn't have a little get high pitched sometime attitude. I never met that before. So.
Okay, they exist.
And I think that's all about what a man is, what he's looking for too, what he's pursuing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want a square, you're not gonna go for a square.
True. So that's true. So like that, as Key said, preferential. I would rather not deal with the square. But
Your preferences are. I didn't know we were getting
They
into
heard you.
preferences.
If they don't know nothing, no squares allowed.
No squares allowed.
You made that clear.
very
I hope they listen.
crystal. Yeah, but yeah. So that. So fellas, tell us what hood, because Shon had already said he done seen it all. So I need to. You,
I've done it all.
Rest in peace, Shotty Low.
yeah. So, I mean, okay. So coming from your perspective, like, was it was just bad, or was it good but some bad?
On what perspective?
Like you said, they were like the red flag situation. Like what's the absolute you should support, but I mean like in a personality or something like no, you just cannot act like that at all.
When you're over independent.
Hyper independence.
Over
Let's talk about
independent.
it.
And then you're not independent in the things you should be independent.
What should
You're
they be
only independent.
in?
You're only independent in the things of the world.
My
So you
Lord.
independent in the things of you got yourself together, you got your money together, you got everything, your social life together, but you're not independent in God.
Ooh,
I'm
red.
a
So
clap.
that's a big red flag for me.
That's so real.
So you can't present independence to me and then you're not one with God and independent in everything that He's saying. So if we ever have to get past that stage where you have to be submissive in a place, if you're not independent or submissive to God, you can't ever be submissive
This is true.
to me ever.
That's the one.
That's the one, because submission don't start with a man, it starts with God
For
first.
God, and that's for us too. So,
But yeah, with a woman,
Absolutely.
it starts with God first. Like, who did you hear first? Because it shouldn't be me. You know, who you talking to? More, it should. That's
so
good.
that's the main at this place I'm at now. That's
the main red flag. Did you grow to that place?
because most of the time I ignored it because I wasn't in alignment. So
Yeah.
it's all about where you at. It's all about personal and growth. It's just growth daily.
You attract what you are.
Yeah.
This is true. It'll come to you.
If you
don't
don't
have to look for it.
if you don't believe in that, that's a truth fact.
That's a very true fact. That's true. That's true. Okay, cool.
I mean, balance. That's all I can say. I've seen really both sides, but if you ask what I'm attracted to, only it has to be balanced.
Okay.
If it's off kilter, then I can't do it. Cause I'm normally calm and cool, but you know, as Keith said, I can press the gas. You know, so we can take it either way. So, and I think that's what she said. Like you're looking for, but you have to have somebody like that. You don't want somebody too aggressive, and you don't want somebody too passive. That's not a good type of relationship because you may be predominantly passive or aggressive, so you need that balance. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, y'all. We about to get spicy again. I got questions.
Okay,
All right, I'ma sit up.
Stretch out a little bit.
I got a question for y'all.
We gonna
She
start
sit up.
with
She
you.
Should no.
You are not the host.
Korey thinks he hosts the podcast, and we're
Every time you get ready to ask a question, Keith be like,
Yeah,
she be like, I'm gonna hold it.
I'm ready.
Hold
Cause
it.
you don't
So
know
that's what I'm saying.
she might bounce right to her.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine. She can always ask me first. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
okay, but I'ma just throw. No, it has to go to y'all because this is we'll answer it, but this goes to y'all.
See the setup?
Should
Yeah, I do.
women approach men? Should we be sliding in DMs? Should we be?
Okay,
Shooting
now,
shots.
okay. Now, is this a personal? This direct personal for the individual? Or this is an open question?
General question?
Okay, let's make it personal. Like
For
for,
the people.
y'all,
Me, personally.
for Korey and for Shon. Should women approach?
You want to take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me personally,
Mhm.
no. And it kind of goes two ways for me because I feel like if I'm out in public
Mhm.
and you really like me, I feel like it's a certain discernment I will get from a woman that she can give me from a look, but it shouldn't go no farther than that. Like you coming up to me and really taking the whole thing.
Hey, Playboy, let me get your number.
For me, hey,
Korey, not the ass.
hey, for me personally, I shut down automatic. I automatically go into defense mode. Like, okay, you doing too much because I'm the hunter. I the one supposed to find you. So now, going back to personal. If I'm out having a good time, I don't mind. At that place at that time I was at, yeah, you can approach me because it's all that's where my mind is. I'm out having a good time. I don't mind you approaching me because if I like you, I can go ahead and go with it or not.
Okay.
But personally now, no.
36?
Don't,
36?
yeah,
I know.
Don't
Real
approach
smooth.
me
Don't
like
roll
that.
up.
Just give me a look. Give me something subtle.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick up on
Okay.
it, especially if I'm attracted to you.
Right.
But DMs definitely not. I think everybody do that now.
They do.
DMs.
That's so distasteful.
It is
Right.
very distasteful.
Hey, such no, what?
Yeah.
Nah.
And no proper grammar.
No.
Not the grammar.
Hey, how many know the DMs?
Says
That
what?
one. BTW. I like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why
All
they. That's why
lowercase,
they
no
dead.
caps, no
That's why they're
punctuation.
dead. In her DMs. That's
That
why
is.
they're dead. See.
Yeah.
That grammar.
Grammar will get you.
I look.
H-I.
Hello.
And
No,
Hello.
you
How
put that,
are you?
If you put that S on mine,
Ooh.
I'm done. I can't. See, I can't. What's too much? You took me too fast. And
You
I
don't know
cried.
how to
my
talk.
God.
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah, Shon, that was good. That was good. Korey, what about you?
It's listen. Let's see. So for me, it's everybody knows if you're attracted to someone, a look, it works. I'd say just be approachable. Some people have the rest in what face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it just will totally turn a man away from you, even if he's getting vibes all day.
I could get the look and
The-
be like,
the-
man,
the-
she's banging, but then I look at
Yeah.
you like, definitely not. I'm not gonna approach you.
The
That don't
fact-
work on
I
everyone?
have the face all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see,
I
we,
still-
they see through that now because everybody has it.
I mean,
They
I was
put it
born
on.
this way. I can't.
Shout out to Mama because it's real.
Yeah.
But the approach you're talking about, bro, is one that you just already know.
What?
Trouble. It's
Of course. You
Now,
can,
like he said, it's just an approach that I might look like I might be stern. You might look like you, but you be like, you know what? That's just her.
Mm-hmm.
A man
Yeah,
pick up on it every time.
Right.
But we might not get a red flag off that look, but the ones who you get that look from, you automatically know, like, no,
It's the
no,
Say it again, Shon, one more time.
no, just like that. So I got you
no.
on that one.
That's interesting. Okay, so Key, I already know your stance. You not finna roll up on nobody.
Absolutely not.
No.
And not ever in my life.
And I think we have
You gonna let me answer?
Okay, go ahead.
No.
I wasn't even finished.
If y'all didn't know, we
Oh,
are
you
friends
are
outside of this because
Yeah, we are. Y'all can tell. But go
I
ahead.
can't even fill in the blanks.
I was about to help her out, but she don't need no help. Go ahead, Key. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but I have a traditional side about me though, and that comes from home. Like my parents have been married for over 30 years, so it's kind of like I'm going to everything subconsciously for me as far as relationships echoes the sentiments of what I've seen in my home, and so I can't help for me that's natural. So if you're not, I'm not saying be like my father, but if you're not aligning, like close, if we're not running parallel, it doesn't appeal to me. So I will never put myself in a place where I pursue any man, ever, because in the biblical sense, like Shon had mentioned, they're the hunters. They pursue, and so that's what I've learned. What I've accepted. That's what the book. I claim the whole book. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
the book
it.
talks about the roles of the man, the woman,
Bible,
the
y'all. If
children,
y'all don't know,
the
that's the
family
book she's talking
unit,
about.
the succession of the hierarchy of God, man, woman, children. We ain't got to run that, but there it goes.
Yeah. We already
So
know.
that's where I'm coming from. So I can't even respond to anything or act on anything else. It's not in me. It's what it is.
I second that. Especially the Bible, because like this generation like that pick out what they want to. If it hurt, it hurt. But the whole one applies, and there's no loopholes. You can't pick this day. It just say ouch, because I mean it's gonna get you. So that's what I look at when it comes to how, as far as the whole women shooting they shot, and then like I'm gonna say this to the people, to all these friends, because this is my girl right here, like on and off camera, but. This is true. So to all, you have a friend and your friend is like, girl, go up. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not okay.
Snatch you back.
Because like that's not okay. Do not big up your homegirl to go talk to somebody, because it, to me, it's distasteful. Like you're letting him, basically it gives thirsty. It's giving I need it.
It is.
And
Okay, we got it.
I love it. Keep it going, Shon. It's giving.
Flashback.
It's giving. Yeah, it's giving. I can't. I just got to have you. That is not making a man attracted to you. It's almost letting him know that. Okay, I'll be a minute, sir. Just hold on, because it's almost giving. I can take advantage if you give me the opportunity.
True.
If you let me, I already know you wide open. I mean, you just right there. You just pouring it all out. I would just like for you to know that what? It's a no for me.
It's a fine line between being approachable and thirsty. It is.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
thirsty
be
is putting
approachable.
yourself out there. Approachable is if a man comes to you and you can talk to him. But the problem is, if we deny, let it fly. Don't keep
That's
going.
true. But is it
Finished.
beneath you to throw a hand up, say hello, crack a smile?
I have that kind of
Is
personality.
that for y'all?
Oh, that's fine.
I'm
I'm about to say
But that's
my
you start
personality.
correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't call me a pet name.
Okay.
Don't touch me
Don't grab
on a
the hand.
post.
Ooh, do
Okay.
not touch me.
Do not
They
touch
are black,
What's
okay?
up, Shon?
Let me
Not
tell y'all.
touch
Don't
Not
pull
the
no
ones
hair.
on Shon.
You know.
Don't touch me.
I've never responded to any of those.
Have y'all been called
Grab
slim
a
before?
fingertip.
I've
what?
been called
Slim.
Slim.
Brown
This dude
Yeah,
called
yeah,
me. Let
brown
me see.
skin,
Maybe
yeah.
a year ago, I was walking. Where was I? By Moreland.
Oh,
Well-
oh my God, bless you.
First of all, Moreland is gentrified.
It is.
Let's be clear.
It is.
There's an
That's the area I was
What?
in.
Were you to the left?
We don't
I was
know.
about to say,
We
were
don't
you
know
to the
what
left or
side
right?
I
she
was
was
not
on.
on the zoo side.
Okay.
Go right side, okay.
For the people who don't live in Atlanta,
Yeah, because I'm about to say
this
no.
is
Be
an
cautious.
area.
It was-
It's an area
I'm not
that
doing that with y'all.
you can do. It could be. It
That's
could
not
be
nice.
a.
Stop it. He
Sideline.
called me Pecan Slim. I
Oh! That was good, though.
Oh,
That
Pecan.
was good. Shout out to you, whoever. You got
said, I'm gonna take that one for myself.
yeah.
I like that.
That's not even evident. That's good.
Now, how far did he get? I'm curious.
Oh no, I kept walking.
Kept walking. Okay,
Yeah.
so he
No,
didn't even.
yeah.
But
Did
she
he get
gave
a smile?
props.
I laughed.
I bet you. I know you got
I
a hat
laughed.
with that.
I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I've never gotten that. I've gotten a lot of things. Pecan Slim."
Yeah. No,
Yes.
fellas,
I
be
looked-
creative.
I looked at
You have to be
myself.
creative.
No matter what,
Not
be
you
creative.
giving advice. Like,
This is true.
Netflix and
Different
heal.
stands
We
out
gotta heal,
sometimes.
brothers.
Different does stand out sometimes.
you are cold. Do you hear this?
That's your cause.
Not the.
You reel that back in.
Signing him on, like for real. At this point, that is funny.
Talking to the
That's
camera
funny.
and everything.
That's funny. All right. So since we're talking about like the whole communication thing, so when it comes to men, does it matter how females talk to y'all?
Absolutely.
I know that
Because
was
it
yes.
matters to you guys how we speak to you. If we come off too crazy too soon, or at all,
Too
period.
soon.
That's
Yeah.
what I said, period.
I was about to say,
Right.
I don't
You know
want to
something?
meet the crazy.
Some people ease it in on you. It's
They
just
do.
the truth of what
They
we
do.
live in
They
today.
hide
it.
And most
They
people
disguise
now,
it.
under
Yeah.
our age group,
Yes.
are crazy.
Yeah. Automatically.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Because
They look
some
tilted.
some can be 22 and have the maturity of a 40-year-old, but you know it just takes you getting to know that
But
person.
not 22 and 40. That's a
That's a
stretch.
big gap. Some people grow up with their grandparents, like they get it.
Mm.
Symphony
Okay.
for one.
Okay,
She will
okay,
be an
okay.
old lady.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's very rare though.
yeah,
It is
very
very
rare,
rare.
very
It's
rare.
very rare.
That sense of home has died out.
It has. Talk about
sense
that.
of it died
Talk
out.
Yeah,
about
but
that.
how you speak to someone is very important.
Very.
I mean, even if it's initial conversation, 10 years have gone by and y'all been in a relationship or married, it still matters. Because it's what you do every day. It's what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So have y'all ever ran into somebody that the communication style was like, ugh?
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Unwilling to communicate. That's the big one for me. Unwilling. Just and capable.
You got a lot to say.
And,
Because
and not being capable.
communication is a sensitive topic
For me, yeah, absolutely. Because I love to talk.
and I
So
don't.
do I.
Yeah, but I'm shy, but I can communicate.
But when
because
you
I
communicate
found,
on the things that matter though.
yeah,
I struggled with it for a long time.
Talk about
But it was with everybody.
Okay.
So it's just a personal weakness that I had, but I knew that I wanted to be married one day. So I had to be very intentional with changing that. And I put myself in situations that would kind of hone that in and that would force me to talk. Like I took a job in retail because I knew I had to interact with customers. So I had to talk. Otherwise, I'll isolate. And it means nothing's wrong. I'm not a talker. I'm just not.
do you get nervous like when you have to talk? Like before
yes.
now?
Yes, I still get nervous now. I'm nervous right now.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
And it was so funny because like
I can relate because I was
when I'm a
Trying not to
talker,
fidget.
I'm a talker and he's not a talker, and so it was so interesting when I invited her on the podcast because the first time that she coming out, we was out, we would eat dinner, and I was like, "Key," she was like, "No, Tay,"
Nerves through the roof.
and I was like, "If God be God."
He is.
And he
Every day of
confirmed
the
it
week.
like 3 times, and then I said yes.
She had to have 3 confirmations, you know, but
And the last time, I think it was that day, I text you. I was like, all right,
I'm ready. You know, I was like,
I got a word in the parking lot.
I got it. She got a word to come over.
I was like,
the
Lord, I
podcast.
ain't gonna ignore you. You put it right in my
I
face.
said, I really think you should. I don't know
Keep
what
so-
you hearing,
Keep
Tay.
putting that whooping on you if you do.
Right, and
That's fine.
can't y'all see why?
I submit eventually.
All she got to say is she wasn't trying to be here. But I am a talker. But like that's yeah. Well, this is why we're here, because this is obviously my calling, because I'm supposed to talk
Amen.
for you.
Amen.
This is my calling, so
You're
I'm
doing
right
very
where
well.
I'm supposed
You're
to.
doing very well.
Thank you, Shon. See, this is my amen corner over here, so I'm gonna stay right here, because these two,
I'm clapping it
the
up.
co-host and the
Best friend. Call it what it is.
Yeah. But I will say this. The right type of communication will throw me to the left. Like it
Explain. Please.
I gotta
I'm
Expound,
interested.
because
it's like, okay, so a lot of time, like Key struggled with, you said, communicating at all. I would struggle with topics that I didn't want to discuss. Like if it's a topic that I
too.
don't want to discuss,
that
I'm
deep
like,
stuff. Like, yeah, I gotta get
Not
in.
the deuces. You run. You flee.
Run, Forrest, run.
I'd be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. I don't want to talk about it.
I've done that.
You've done that too? Like, cause you gotta
prep me.
I have
Give
to,
me a second.
and I have to process it. I need a couple days. I need a moment. I need time.
You go silent though.
I do.
I do too. That's not good.
It's not good. And I've learned
And
in
it's-
this season of my life that has to stop.
Yeah.
Because in marriage, I can't do that.
Yeah, but that clicked with me several years ago, and I tried to like forewarn. I'm like, if this happens, I will try and let you know nothing's wrong,
Mhm.
but this is how I am.
Mhm.
Like, I try to be very honest. I'm like, sometimes, especially depending on the topic, like especially like future talk, that type stuff. I'm like, give me a second. Because I want to say the right thing.
Yeah.
Because if I know you like me for real, I know it matters what I say and how I say it.
Yep.
So I don't want to risk hurting you, offending you, or anything. I was like, I need to prep. And because wait a minute. Yeah, you did that to myself.
Let me at it. Like, boy, you're gonna have to turn.
But that's the thing with me, as like me personally, if I see a relationship, it's about to, bust a move or something like that. I'm like, all right, this is what this is. I'm like, okay, I'm laying it all out here. This is this. And because, especially if I know I'm getting into something with someone who's a effortless communicator, I'm like, okay, cool. That's your thing. It's not mine.
Talk about it. That's how you communicate.
I'm like, that's not me. I have performance anxiety. Like, and that,
That's
that's
It's the
across
truth, though.
the board.
Yeah.
That's in personal conversations and everything. So if I don't have any warning that this is where this is shifting, now I can pivot. Don't get me wrong. That player click on real quick. But sometimes it throws me for a loop, especially if you. I was like, oh, we there already?
Just right now,
It
we was
too
just eating
fast.
tacos, and now we're talking about kids.
I was like, pause. And then, I clue myself back in. I try not to let the space go too far. Like, I don't do the silence in days. I'm like, give about 30 minutes. I'm going to come back to you.
Right.
Especially, like, if we're talking and not texting, I'd rather text.
I
I hate talking on the
Do
phone.
not text me.
Vocal.
Can I speak my truth?
You
Go
can.
for it, girl.
Thank you.
I'm just disagreeing.
You cannot shun me. See?
No.
Just like you. It's going to make it hard for people like me.
Oh, Lord.
I done told you I'm bad at communicating.
Oh.
I prefer to text.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm good at phone conversations. I'm not the best, but I can always respond. Initiate is really not my thing. Unless we're like deep into a relationship or whatever, then I'm good. But until we fill each other out, you got to give me a second.
Right.
You got to hit me with questions. I will answer any question. Any question. But starting it up, that ain't me. That's a personality thing. And I run into men that get offended by that, or they get turned off by that, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
You should apologize.
You can work with me.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I tell you up front because I recognize it and I'm working on it. I know it's an issue. I know communication is needed in a relationship. I'm well aware of that. It's a personal thing. So
I only said that because text can be taken so many
Misconstrued.
different ways.
So
And
misconstrued.
when I tell you
and
I'm
you
such
don't
a
want that.
fluid writer,
She
We know you
is.
are. I
Now,
know you put it in there.
punctuation,
First of all,
paragraphs,
attention span.
Yeah.
The man you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Will he interpret every wonderful thing you have to say?
I can adjust. If here's the thing with me.
Because he might want you to put an S on it in the mind.
Listen.
Record.
Let me run this down for you. Let me run this down. When I'm interested in somebody, I study them.
Okay.
So I know how you're going to respond to what I do. So I'm going to present it in a certain way because I know how you're going to take it. Okay, and this comes from me really paying attention and observing. I watch mannerisms. I watch all of that. I see how you react when this is said, when this happens. I watch it. Oh, if I like you, it becomes you 101. And I graduate. I'm like, okay, when this happens, I know you're going to do this. I know that's how I am. So when I'm texting, I know how to give it to you. And we're gonna have no problems.
And that's all.
Now, usually when I really lay it out in text, And most of the time, like when I'm texting, if I text something long, it's because I can't talk. I get that phone call. I'm like, yeah, I know you like what you read. It's okay.
Okay. So skip the shyness, get the phone call, and then we can talk about it. I said what I had to say. I got it off my chest. I'm not nervous. And then
your word, it's balance. You know I like to text.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept you calling because I know that's what you do.
That's smooth. That's smooth.
Balance. You like that word, right? I use it.
Not the girl.
Bring it home for the people, kid. Yeah. All right, Korey, you had something again.
I just had a question for both of y'all. How do you think? Okay, your natural shyness and your being the great communicator that you are, but when the questions hit home, you get real shy. I would assume from what you're saying. How do you think that affects the men that you guys talk to, like from past to present?
Oh, okay.
Hop in there, Key. I'm proud of you. Let's go.
My first like serious relationship, he got it bad. Like I was horrible communicating with him. He stuck it out, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm so sorry."
Shout out to you.
But the thing
My
is,
man.
no. The thing with that is, he knew we were friends first. We were best friends first, so he knew the issue. So when we got into a relationship, he would yell and get mad. I didn't take that well.
Hell, get mad.
Told you.
Definitely don't do that.
He got mad. I'm like, and so that really hurt me because I'm like,
he knows you.
I'm not doing this on purpose, and that's how he took it. And
Why?
Was he?
Not the
Why?
Why? He'd be like, it's me.
That don't
like
mean
you can't
anything.
talk to me. I'm like, bro, this is with everybody. I don't talk to nobody.
Can I explain that to you?
And I know I'm a person who sees the full picture, and I understood what he was saying. I was like, there's nothing I could give. If I had it to give, I would have given it to him. I don't have it. I can't pull from nothing. Like this is literally like one of my deepest issues is communication. At the time it was. I've grown since then because I was very intentional about my change. So it's kind of like, do you want to break up?
Because I don't have the capacity to break up.
I feel like
I
as
was
a
young
man,
during this relationship, so
he should have known. Like I think a lot of men do that. Like you'll tell them that okay, this is a struggle for me, like he did, and then you yelling at me when you already know this is a struggle.
When I tell you that broke me down,
if I already tell you something,
somebody beat on your weakness.
That's cold. That's what they're doing. You tell me to open up. You asking me to open up, right? And I tell you this vulnerable side of me, or you see this and I give you this. And then you get mad at me when I do it just because it hits home and your pride can't come down, your ego can't come down.
But here's the thing, I would try so I was like, he could ask and he loved to talk on the phone. I'm like, can I text it? Like, give me a second and I will respond.
Meet me in the middle.
Like, I need a and he wanted to
I need a phone call. Call me. Pick the phone up and call.
I literally be blank. I'm like, I cannot process this. I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I'm not stupid. I have no response. I'm like, what you want to say? You want me to give you fluff?
Yeah. Small talk?
I can run game. You want me to treat you like a random? I'm like,
not the random.
I mean,
y'all had those?
Yeah.
Random.
I mean, randoms.
I want to learn something.
Yeah.
So you know what a random is.
But not for you guys, no.
A random, somebody who don't mean nothing.
Okay.
yeah,
It's a random on the street.
I don't care about your opinion.
Nothing you say matters.
Your word holds no weight.
So y'all be
Nothing.
mentally detached.
What?
I was detached from the start.
From the beginning.
But you keep talking.
We didn't have to come into the
I'm like, I'm
detachment.
trying not
The
to knock you.
detachment.
Hey.
I'm just saying, like, you know, as women, we know, like, you're nothing. You're nobody.
Castaway.
What you mean?
But I'm trying to be nice.
And I'm not
don't
gonna
wanna
be
block you.
wait, because I block real fast.
I try
My
not
block
to.
game so
I try to be.
What you're not gonna do is talk crazy on my cellular device.
Oh no, when they get crazy, like
anything though. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not gonna give you room to talk to me, and I don't like you. Blocked. Say something crazy. Blocked. You're not. This is where people go wrong. No
issue whatsoever.
They
Straight to the point.
go wrong with allowing access too long.
This is true.
That's true.
Because see, if you block it in the beginning, you ain't got to worry about it doubling
now,
back.
what I will say is, I let it go on a little bit longer with people who I've known, who now, for whatever reason, now they like me. I'm like, but did you look to find out if I liked you back?
I got a question.
And when I tell you to stop and that I don't like you, you keep going. Now I'm like, all right, ease your way on back out. That ain't this.
You be like keeping friends.
But my
Okay.
whole thing is they eased into that themselves.
Well, if
No,
you're
no, no.
friends, go ahead.
I can't help you like me as a person. I'm amazing.
Right, they can't either.
I can't help you
What?
transition into, oh, I want her more than a friend.
That's true.
But you know,
We should have had a
get-
conversation.
You get that. I know you get it.
I completely get it. That's why I try to cut it off early. If I'm not feeling you, I'm like, you calling me babe and baby. And I'm like, when we get there?
That time we hung out and you looking good
And
in that
I'm
dress with the knees. What?
Some
I
women
can't
don't take
help
well to that
it.
though.
I can't
Some women don't take
help
well to
it.
like the pet names really fast. That'd be a good lie. Like
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But y'all do know the more you spend time with a person, like it's gonna happen.
And see, when I tell you I check everything, I'm like, nah, we can't hang out because you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Like, I cut that, and I try not to cut off the conversation, but it eventually gets that way. I'm like, you're not getting it.
Mhm.
I didn't want to block you.
Mhm.
We've been friends for a minute.
Mhm.
But I don't want you to get hurt.
Mhm.
I'm not going to string you along because, and I'm like, it is not even me stringing you along. Like, you're attaching yourself. At this point, I'm dragging you because I'm going this way and you try.
And they have heavy
Not
feet on the
too
pedal. You hear me?
dragging.
Yes. They
You're
go 80 into 65.
You're dragging.
Drag
That's
him.
crazy.
Oh, man.
I really tried to be nice.
Is it really that hard though?
When I don't want you and you're
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard.
And you're
When I
pushing-
don't want you.
and you're
That's good,
pushing
though. That's good.
and you're pushing and I've made it clear. It's one thing if I was playing with you,
Right.
but I'm not, and I told you, and you still going at it. Now you disrespect. I take that as disrespect
That
because
is
you're not
disrespectful.
listening to
Yeah,
me,
he's not listening.
and I'm holding on to a friendship that we had that you're now trying to escape.
They're in the
Locked
friend zone.
in.
They're
Locked
friend
in.
zone.
Locked in.
Well, dudes like to bring themselves out of that zone.
They do.
They like
but
to
you
do it
need to go off
themselves.
clues.
You
Who
not
g-
gonna ever
Men
put
like
me
gave
in.
promotion.
What you
now.
say,
Don't
Shon?
do that.
I
Men
don't
like
get
promotion.
But make
You don't get put in the friend zone.
But make sure it's mutual.
No.
You have to be that kind of man to not get
Yeah,
put
to
in the
even
friend zone.
allow
seriously.
yourself to slide into a friendship that's
Sometimes-
not real.
Because they'll lay down
That's-
the oil for you
oh,
and just scoop
that's
you.
It's gonna
good.
be because
That's
if I'm
good.
pursuing you, that's what I wanted. I don't want to be friends with you on that level.
And that
So
takes
you
me
can't
back.
put me in a friend zone.
This is true.
That's
You can't
very
put-
true.
But women will always try to put you where they want you to go.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
can't put me there.
But
I
I-
put myself there.
But I think everybody should put people where they belong. I
Yeah,
don't think
you
you
should.
should give people the freedom
No, it's-
To roam
decide
around
their
in
life
life.
like that.
Yeah.
Freely.
You need to know where
Where
this
they
is going
going.
to be, and then on the back end, you need to know what if it's a man and a woman. They need to make their intentions clear from the beginning.
Yeah,
Very.
true.
That's
If you
where
don't
my
like
people
talking
go
about
wrong.
clear.
If you
I
don't
mean,
like someone,
crystal clear.
crystal
I don't want
clear.
to question
You're
that.
my friend. And then what also people need to do is not try to stick around and be a friend knowing that there will be no.
Because that's the
It's
motive
true.
come in.
People
That's what
do that.
Those people you put in friend zone, they always have a motive.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
motive will always to
waiting
get
for my
Some
to
people
end.
like
So
that.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting until
So
you
you
give me an
already
opportunity
know.
to
Yeah.
slide up out of that.
from your God-given discernment. You already know it can
You don't wanna
never
be
be
my
nothing outside of this because they had a motive anyway, just to
Mhm.
get to a certain point.
And that's why I block you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because what
That's-
are we doing? What are we doing? You know I just want to be your friend. You don't just want to be my friend. Why am I continually talking to you? All you're waiting for is a weak moment for me
That's
to
it.
come down and you be like, well,
Oh,
you
he broke
know.
your heart.
Yeah. Oh,
I can be there for you,
I
man.
got. You know what? He
You better
should
stand up.
Yeah, I'm just. And that's why you have accountability. I'm coming over. 'Cause
Now, let
what we not gonna
do
do?
you text your accountability partner or
I
you
do.
call them? It's important.
We text.
We
first.
text first. And then if it has to go, because we see each other in more spaces than just like, we will talk to each other when we get in a space too.
Yeah.
But most of the time we'll text each other if it's something that, he has really great advice. And it's always from a pure place. So if I ever have advice in that realm, she gives great
I'm
advice.
very unbiased.
She's very
That's
unbiased. So like
That's
if
a
I'm
good
if
trait,
I'm
yeah.
cold, she'll be like, "Tag, and yeah."
Warm up a little
I
bit.
try to make it nice.
Yeah, but it's not always nice. But if you know people and you're not like just trying to be out here wilding, if you have somebody like that in your life, appreciate them because they want to see you. Key said something so profound that has stuck with me.
You always remind me what I say because I never remember.
Well, I do. She said something so profound, and she said, "I want to see everybody around me free."
True.
And I thought that was so.
Oh, I did say that.
I know.
I think I wrote it in my notes because I was like, oh, I tripped myself out.
I know.
Okay. Come on, Key.
I have to remind her of the things she says to me
But
so
that's
that
good,
she
though. Everybody
knows
should want
that
that for their
and she
friends.
said that. So that tells you that whoever you have in your life, that they're coming from a pure place of wanting to see you better. Like if you start falling and slipping, going down the slippery slope, you on the slippery slide with Dawn, this church, and you know it. You know you down
I
there.
need to turn around on that one. You gone on that one.
You gone. And you got somebody who's like, you need to stop that. Like for real. Like you need to get up. You need to because you know that's not you. Go with them. Like don't go with the person that's gonna appease you because you want old boy. Like go with them. And that takes a growth and development as yourself.
That will determine if the friendship is real, no doubt.
Yeah, that's that. So I say that to say that. Do y'all think that men and women can genuinely be friends without an ulterior motive?
Oh,
Or
I love
agenda?
this question. Yes, I do.
I
Absolutely, I do. But it has to be determined at
Because
the
people always
beginning
people
of
Yes.
the conversation.
Yes.
Beginning. Very first beginning. Make the intentions known.
Mhm.
I'm trying to be here for the long run, or I'm not. I'm trying to hang out with you on the weekends, or every day we get a chance, or nothing.
Differentiate that thing.
Yeah, as soon because spending time with someone and you don't do that,
Mhm.
it's gonna start. Somebody gonna catch feelings.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Feelings
And
gonna
even
come
though you may be
automatically.
top dog, like I don't fall first on
Shoot.
flip. That normally be the ladies. Oh, look at the
They
face.
got-
Oh, the men always
The
slip.
men always
See,
slip.
they
every
confident.
time.
I like this
And
though. I
men
like this.
slip
These are
first.
But we can say on my end.
Y'all
I
slip
get
first.
I
The
love
ladies
you first.
Oh,
We
Oh,
slipping in the
yeah.
but
flesh.
you making
though.
people fall in love? out
Oh, Shon said something powerful. He
It's
said,
not we slipping internally. We slipping from the flesh. That's what. That's why you
True.
get the I love you, the babies, because we trying to get to a point.
True.
but what if there's no point to get to? If you,
No,
if you
no.
If it
know,
was no nine
if you
times
know
10,
we not doing nothing, then what you
you
trying to slip
probably
to?
won't even get past the first date. Most of the time for men, we probably won't even go on the second date.
But then
I've
that,
got
hold on.
second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh things.
Because
So
they just
that-
waiting on
We
their
are
time.
persistent. Men are
That
persistent.
That goes back to that harkens back to
That goes on the person.
yeah, it's the person.
that does.
Check
Yeah.
the person.
That's the
But
person.
it's like what
Because
you said.
Yeah.
You know, just if it doesn't line
Come
up
around
from the
that corner.
beginning. Yeah, if it doesn't line up from the beginning, then you just have to.
I still
Cut it off in
have
the
gotten
beginning.
them every
So I'm with you. They and
But
I've said I'm not doing that. We
I
not
know
doing
y'all have
that.
found out though, men will still be persistent. Like those
We are
men will be
persistent.
very persistent
very
to get what they want. So even
What do they want?
because okay, you got
You can say it on this podcast.
No,
It's
seriously,
okay.
you have to flip up
No,
for
I-
you to put out. But on the
Thank
flip
you.
side of that,
Let's say it. We
for
can-
women
you
who
can
are
say
not
it.
like
They trying to do you.
right? For women that are not like you guys, they hold off 3-4 months.
I was
They
just
get
waiting on that
3-4
part.
months.
Yeah.
I needed
Yeah,
you to
they
put that
hold
part
it
in.
out.
So they
Yeah.
see
don't know
that
you
it's like
messing
okay,
with me.
time will grant me access
Hey,
to whatever
you
I
give
need.
a man 5 years. If he didn't get it
He will
5 years ago,
stay
he'll
there.
come right back around after 5 and be trying to
In
holler
case
at
of
you.
point, I'll make
It's
this
all about
argument.
That's
Y'all don't
true.
value y'all time because ain't no way.
That's a long time.
Don't just
I'm
say
gonna
it. That's
put
where they at.
I'm gonna put it in
I'm not
perspective.
about to give you that much time.
Have you ever had a guy
Exactly.
that you used to go to school with or something like that?
Mhm.
Their history and familiarity,
I do
it will
all
come
the
back.
time.
And what do you find yourself doing? Have you ever dated one of those guys that came back?
Mhm.
Okay, then. So his persistence
Yeah,
paid off.
it paid
Him
off.
waiting paid off. If say y'all didn't date in high school, you
Okay.
didn't go out and it still worked. So it's the same thing. But now you're not putting out, right? So he still got what he wanted. If it's a date, he got what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show.
That's valid.
People will
That's
still
valid.
wait around.
That's valid.
Okay,
So I
on
had
the,
to sit in the
idea,
corner. I
on
was
the
trying to tell-
idea,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
Because true,
I'll give
they
you that.
still were waiting, but you know,
Because
they,
you'll find yourself saying, I never liked you in high school.
Patiently.
They
You
just
see what I'm
got
saying?
lucky.
they
We'll
just
wait
yeah,
You got lucky.
you
I
got
was
you
just
came.
We'll
I
wait
was
you
just
out.
free.
Just so
I'm
happened to
trying
be
to
free
put
when
them
you
on
turned
game.
around.
I was free.
They
when
put
you
us
came
on game,
around.
so-
Because if he came back, you never liked him in high school. You never liked him in college. You know, he
Ugly in
maybe
high
a good
school,
friend. He
too.
was ugly, but then he circled back. Oh, he looks nice. Hey, Darren, how you doing?
Come
Not
You know what I'm
Darren.
saying?
Hey, look,
Is it?
and
No, I don't
now-
know.
Not
Give
Ezekiel.
him a name.
Not Darren.
Now,
Okay.
he come back with 2 baby
Darren.
mamas.
Not
He
Darren.
probably come back with 2 baby mamas, and he still you be like,
No,
oh,
you're not coming
Yeah.
back with 2 baby mamas over
Believe
here.
it or not,
They do that.
They
They
do.
It's the
do.
truth.
They do.
They
You gotta
do.
look at it from a
You
whole.
didn't even
That's
like
true.
him.
That's true. That's
He
true.
came
And
back
now
with all
you
kind
do.
of baggage, and then you like him in this
Yeah.
point of his life.
Mm.
So
Okay.
men and women do it
Because
together,
look
so.
at
That's true.
everybody here can look at who they dated previously. You're like, what was that? Why?
I don't feel that badly about everybody.
No.
I
We got
was
some
about
great
to
picks
say.
on the team.
Yeah, but-
you know, but
yeah.
now some is.
I would
questionable.
never say it was just trash because that reflects on me.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna say it on YouTube, but I mean internally
Nah,
reflecting.
you
You
know,
know,
on YouTube.
You can say it here if you like.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
no.
fine. I'd add some trash.
Now, are these confirmed relationships you guys talking about?
Yeah, the ones I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
These like with length of time.
Nobody else counts.
Relationships.
Yeah, and the other ones we call those.
That's
You heard
the
that?
whole
You heard that?
No one else counts.
counts.
How does that work for y'all? Well, someone y'all talk to, it doesn't count.
Because it doesn't
Because
count.
it counted. It happened.
No, it doesn't
No.
have a time frame that can be. No, it counted. It happened.
Women are different.
How are we
Listen,
different?
I'm gonna
As
listen.
in,
I'm gonna listen.
No. I'm acknowledging that something happened, yes.
Mhm.
But my intention at certain times was different.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm dating to marry.
Mhm.
There's so much that I did before that I will not do now.
Okay, dating
Like
with
the-
intent.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I mean time frame wise and everything.
Okay.
Like what I needed laid out. What is this going to look out to the best of both of our abilities?
Mhm.
I didn't have that mindset
Mhm.
before. So no, you don't count.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was just out here.
Okay.
Does
Randomly.
Does
moving.
age
Frivolous
range come
dating.
with that? Like for a woman, is that like a time
Yeah, I
frame?
say anything before
Mm-hmm.
high school don't count for me.
Well, we
That
not. We
don't
definitely
count.
can't high school.
But like,
When I got I'm gonna be honest. When my submission was really real, when I yielded to God, it got really real for me
Mhm.
on who I would accept, and I changed things. Like for instance, boyfriend at the time, I was in school and he was up in Atlanta somewhere, and he would come and stay with me, sleep over or whatever. But then I was like, Keirra, and then I cut it off. I was like, you can't. If you come down here to visit, you gotta stay at your cousin's house. He wasn't going for it. I was
Man.
like, I'm sorry.
She got a nice TV over there.
Right.
She
Hey,
got
look,
a snack.
I'll bring you snacks too.
Not the snacks.
And
I was
she,
next.
she got the
I was-
knees oil. Like, come on, man.
Right. And I gotta go to my cousin's house.
I don't even like Ray Ray.
And for me, that happened early. I was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And I've stood on that since. Like, I can't move like that. And I knew it then that I shouldn't have been doing it, just for appearance sake. Even though the sin wasn't happening, I know what it looks like.
And how it approaches you.
how it,
real
yeah,
fast.
and what it
I was
could
like,
lead
I'm
to.
going to have to pay for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for this
You
if I
will pay
keep
for it.
doing
Yeah,
it.
you will.
I was like, I'm going to slip and I'm going to mess up. And it's going to be my fault because I know. It's different when you know.
Yeah.
It's extremely, and I know it's gonna hit that much harder when you know.
When you know.
And so I was like, all right. And I had the realization. It took me like a month to actually tell him. I was like, ooh, this ain't gonna go over way hard. And I didn't care. But I give myself time. I'm like, all right. If I say this, I have to be okay with his response.
Yeah.
And that's that emotional piece. You got to get over that. I'm accountable to God first before you. It's just what it is.
Just throw the notebook.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
just take it.
because people don't
But
be
you-
seeing it like that though.
You have
And-
to.
But I was real about it. Like, I knew every area of my life when I submitted for real, when I was like 21, 22, that it had to reflect everywhere. Because my biggest thing when I was younger is hypocrites in the church. I couldn't stand it. And I saw it all the time, and it's so annoying
It
to me.
is.
Now, how I'm gonna live like this? I know I'm not doing nothing with him,
Mhm.
but this dude coming down here, he's sleeping in my bed, walking in and out of my apartment. Okay, I know how that looks. It doesn't matter, and I tried to justify it to myself
That's
for the
what we
longest.
do.
Like, we ain't doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The appearance of sin.
It isn't.
I already knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I reached that spot, I was like, I meant it. And I toiled with it for a while. I was like, nah. Because I don't need this to offset anything God has for me in the future. I don't need it to delay anything, especially when I'm in full control and of knowledge of what's right and what's wrong and what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. Like, I get it. Like, I completely get it. And I couldn't play like I did.
The Bible says the flesh is weak, but the
Don't
spirit
be
is willing. It be real weak. What? I'm talking like.
Y'all struggle like
Floppy
that for
weak.
real?
When I was younger,
It-
It's
but
like
I found,
floppy
that,
all over
that
the
hot
place.
What
body
you
thing
say,
got real.
Floppy. It's
I'm like,
it's-
Lord.
Yeah, the flesh is just.
It's
bad.
just- it's
bad.
like soggy
It's
oatmeal.
it's bad.
It'll-
The
yeah.
boundaries, you got
You
when
got-
you mean
ooh.
it, boundaries have to
They
come
have
in
to
place.
come in place.
I was
And-
like, no more sleepovers.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
More other things.
You
That's
know,
like-
You
fought
gotta
that
take a
nigga.
shower.
You
You know
said-
you gotta take a shower.
Hold on, look.
You
She
gonna
grabbed
wrap up,
it
we
when
gonna
she
get a
said
roll?
almost-
Yeah, because that's actually written in
We
the
gonna
book.
be honest.
Boundaries
Right.
in dating and like what is absolutely off limits before marriage. And Key said no sleepovers. She said, you can't come in and out the crib. No thank you, because it's
None of
the
that.
appearance. And I
Where we
will
go
say this
matters.
from a personal place. Like when you do that, it's something gonna happen.
I heard a saying, not to cut you off.
You could.
You have to sample them first. I heard that before.
Like
And I think that's the biggest
misconception.
No, you don't have to sample nobody.
You do not have to sleep with someone
No.
to figure out how it's going. You can
or
say
stay,
it what
or
it is.
shack. You don't have
Or
to do none
live
of that.
together.
Yeah, you don't have to do
see
that
how
shit.
it's going. Now, do you want to? You probably
Yeah,
do.
you
That's
want
fine.
to.
That's a flesh of it, but you don't have to.
But but you gotta understand, some people want to connect on that level,
Yeah.
and that's first for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
If you don't want to
problem.
That's
connect
the
deeper
issue.
than that, that's fine for you. It works.
Yeah.
So they want it first. They want it hit like they want it,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
They
And
base
that's
it
the
off
person
of
that
that.
don't want to take time out to really get to know you too.
Mhm.
Yes, they just
They
want to.
they at a place in their life they already tired. They already probably been through some stuff.
Mhm.
So they just want to get it over. They want to see it fast. They don't
Mhm.
want to see the long term.
That's good, Shon.
And most times their communication with God is trash anyway.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Because you can't hear him or talk to him
Yeah.
because you got so much.
You
build
talk
up.
to them when you want to use them.
When you want to get out of trouble,
Yeah.
or you need something.
Yeah.
You don't work like that.
Bill.
Pay the bill. You shut that matter. Hush, because you get your life together. You can pay your bills, but I haven't talked to God. But anyways, so that's what what. So Korey, what is absolutely off limits before marriage for you?
Kind of what everybody said. Yeah. I mean, anything that's gonna make it hard for me to keep it right with God.
Yeah.
It's kind of off limits, but then again, we are human. Then again, we are fleshly creatures. You know what I'm saying? So you have to balance that. I say find somebody who keeps you accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That plays a big role in that because we don't want to be stale. We don't want to be a square.
No.
Right?
Point to your, make sure that hand wasn't too far enough over.
I mean, it can be everybody. You know. So
Nobody wants a square. I can say that.
yeah.
You got to define square better. For
All right,
You know.
I'll lay that out later, but not now.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody who says no sleepovers. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah,
So
Along with flirting. Now does flirting cancel out?
What is flirting? Because
Yeah, what is
we got
flirting?
Because you
this.
can verbally
we got
flirt,
this
but then
millennialized-
you got this thing if you're doing no sex, you can gesture, you can touch. Some people like to do that,
They do.
But that leads that leads I'm saying that leads to other things.
Absolutely.
So that will put pressure. That will put
Man.
pressure on your stance for both parties.
no, this to the ladies. Good.
No, I know. I'm saying so. That's not being square because after a while you dating 3-4 months. You don't flirt. You don't touch. You just everything is verbal. So, but you.
Because flirting is.
That threw me. I'm like,
Yeah, the flirt.
That's why that was the question.
So are you saying like a man should be able to touch his woman that he's dating?
Yeah, to a certain point. I'm saying what is not allowable though.
what is
what-
okay for you?
What is called okay?
How-
It's a trick
Yes.
question. Don't answer.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I'm dead
No,
serious.
it shouldn't be allowed. First off, but
Okay.
I'm gonna test the waters as a man.
Every man does.
So if I see you in a nice dress, I'm gonna hug you lower than normal. I'm not gonna keep it up high.
Okay.
So if I do that, how much of that is allowed?
Gotcha.
Before
Okay,
it
gotcha,
starts
gotcha.
tempting you.
Because you put the dress on for a reason.
For a reason.
Well, I'm not
and
dressed
not
on to look nice. We're not gonna do that. See, 'cause I'm finna
I got you. I got
If
you.
you
We're not
I
gonna
got
do
you.
that.
and I can explain.
I got
before
a
y'all
whole
jump on
thing
the
why I put
bandwagon.
this on. I don't get out often.
She
You know.
said it.
And I'm with kids.
She
all
be working
week.
all
I
day,
got
y'all.
you.
So she.
I got you.
I'm saying
all
when
week.
you like him.
Yeah, when you really
When
like
you like him.
When
It's
you like
different.
someone,
I
you
still don't dress differently.
no.
Y'all, me on the regular, graphic tee, some either
Yeah.
some skinny jeans, ripped jeans, and some sneakers because I got 100 plus.
Mhm.
That's what I'm a tomboy.
Mhm.
Now I'm not as bad as I used to be, but me in my natural state, that's what I'm comfortable in. I'm waiting for fall to come back so I can get a hoodie.
Yeah, she love it.
Like that's
Well, at
me.
least you
That
got the
really could be
Lululemon with
it.
And
the
I'm
hoodie
not a
100-degree
tomboy.
weather,
No.
though.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Oh my God.
tomboy, so I dress the same way. Like
Yeah,
if it's a nice dress, I'm gonna put the dress on whether I go
Mhm.
somewhere with Key and my homegirls, whether if I go out with him. If my back out, my back out. My back is
I
out.
love a back out.
If
leg
my back
We
is
do
out.
too. We have a nice back.
If you back in that camera one more time.
Yeah, like who are you talking
Let's
to
be
at
clear.
this point? He likes back out. Like, yeah, cold. But
Yeah, that's a personal thing as
That's-
far as dress.
That's why I posed the question.
because
like,
some
what
women
is
get
the-
dressed for attention. I
Yeah.
get dressed because I like the outfit.
But
and
if
I
you-
dress
that-
for the space. Did I not ask you for a picture of the room?
Yeah, he was like, "Show me the room so I
I
can
was like,
figure out what I
let
got
me
to
see
put
the
on."
room.
'Cause I
What you
didn't
mean
see.
in particular for relationships?
relationships.
So,
Like,
what
if
would
we
you
know
guys allow?
we're into each other, we on the same page. At some point, at all points, it's gonna
Mhm.
always be a physical thing there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gonna always have a fight with that, so
Right.
far as keeping ourselves in alignment.
Yeah.
But what is allowed and what is not allowed, because of course you got a banging body, you're gonna dress up right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna automatically visually
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in tune to that. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna have to check myself, and accountability gonna have to come from
That's
both
the
parts.
thing.
Get checked.
But
Right in-
what is allowed
I
and what
want
is
you
not
in
allowed?
chest.
Would
You
you
doing too
prefer?
much.
Like, would you prefer hands off at all times, or
Okay.
You got it or you
Yeah.
take it?
Me personally, I'm not easily tempted. like at all, but I've grown to that. And even before, like, I put those very firm boundaries in place, I wasn't easily tempted, like with words and none of that. I just wasn't. And so, like, with the touch thing, don't do too much. And I feel like if we're in a relationship, at some point, probably in the beginning for me, I've expressed my expectations and the treatment of what I expect. You know, all that, especially that
Ooh, not PDA.
I don't mind PDA.
I was going to say, don't say
Yeah.
I don't
gonna
mind.
be crying
No.
over there.
PDA is fine. I don't like PDA in like front of kids and like front of old people. I don't know why. I just don't like
The
it.
space
Because
of where you are.
how you
Explain
were
it.
raised.
What
I think it's a respect
Yeah.
thing.
It's
It is a
respect.
respect thing.
It is. It's a
respect.
that's a
And I think
respect
it's
thing.
gone because they don't
People do
No.
everything in front
Like,
of
I'm
other
not
people,
going
and
at
that's
it if it's an old person or if it's kids. Right?
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. Because I think back to when my parents had to take me and my sisters to the movies because they went to see something that it wasn't bad, but certain scenes came up. We had to close our eyes.
Yep, we did.
We were not that exposure. They controlled it as much as they could.
Yeah.
If we were with them, they controlled it,
Yeah.
and we knew.
Yep.
Hit it,
Yep.
and then they gonna tap. Okay,
you can
it's
take them
on.
off.
Yep.
And that was.
I'd be like,
that was natural.
Solomon,
And so, I guess that set with me, and so I won't like PDA in front of children.
Is that a normal kiss or like is that?
Oh, you
The
want
tongue
detail?
thing?
I mean, it's cool. Oh, I love
Okay.
tongue. So
Okay.
it's kind of like going at it. I can't
I
kiss.
expect another different.
Honesty.
that
Not for real.
Shon is over here acting up. I mean, true. And then you gotta know what. I'm not even gonna chime in on this. I don't think this is.
I'm trying not to go
Chime
too
in, you the
far.
host, you gotta chime in.
So-
I don't actually.
And that's fine. Like, I don't mind like the caresses and stuff like that, but don't be extra. Like that extra stuff, I can't.
Because the extra already know I'm at this point. I want to go there next.
Exactly.
That's what
Have
extra
you ever
means.
found yourself
Facts.
being extra with the
Yes,
individual?
and I was like, all right, I need to chill.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
fast was
yeah,
that?
yeah.
How fast
Yeah,
was it?
I mean,
Like
be
cutting
honest.
myself off?
Yeah.
It wasn't that fast.
And
Not
you-
in the beginning. I was like, woo.
I think you gradually.
I was like, we went too far.
What happened there?
I was like, wait a minute.
And you gradually gotta build
I
up.
swear to
to-
God, I was like, some things are missing that were here when we started. I was
Oh
like,
Lord.
yes.
Be free.
We have taken some things off and we
Oh
have failed to
my
put some
God.
things back on.
This was,
But that
let me
is
be
true,
clear.
though.
Or was
This
that
was
like
early on.
Early
it was
on.
like that was almost too close moment?
Yes,
Oh, it's
absolutely.
too close.
'Cause
It's
I-
like they
oh,
were
you-
here.
And they're not there.
Yes.
I'm
They're
mad
over
at this
there.
point.
I'm being honest.
It's reach over and get
Hey,
it
look,
for me,
it's
know what I'm
whatever you
saying?
need.
I was like, ooh, no. And it was crazy because in my mind it was playing slow motion. And I didn't react, but I knew I was supposed to react.
It was like I'm
I
trying
was
to have my
like-
hands and they not
I
moving
was
when they
like,
supposed
no,
to
no,
go.
no.
They not
I was like,
moving.
women are so good at multitasking because everything was going on. I was like, Lord, if you need to get me up.
Oh.
Keep
Like,
me.
Did
You need
hear?
to get me up.
Did God speak to you?
Oh, I got. I was like, all right.
Shut up.
This is what he saw.
Shut. The hand be real.
That's exactly. It was both hands. I was like,
Oh.
all right. You need to put that back on, and we need to.
Yeah.
And then he hit
That's
you with the
that's
what
true.
happened? What
No.
Oh no, I've always had respectful dudes.
Gotta be respectful.
Yes.
Always,
Yes.
because that's a requirement for me.
I love that. For
Like
you.
no one has ever like fought me on that, argued it or
standard, though.
anything
True.
like that.
True.
That's a standard.
And I'm
you
like,
set for
I'm
yourself.
Yes.
so. I was like, yeah, I know this went too far because I can tell, but my bad. So we
Yeah.
gotta stop.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
That's
go.
how it should be.
Cut-
for both
That
sides.
is how it should be for both
Cut it,
parties.
just cut it right there.
Cut
yeah.
it. Just
Oh,
like let's
dudes
go.
have cut
And
me
then
off
we gon-
before. I was like, yeah, I did.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
after you realize, like, oh, we almost got too far,
Let's stop.
it should be done like that, and we can laugh about it later.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
it's
the
fine.
key. Like being able to laugh about it. Like it's no hard feelings. We didn't.
I'm still gonna try again. Just one more time.
Like this nigga.
We gonna run it one more again.
Let me see if I can do it one more again.
Hey, look, we already ran it.
That is where Symphony gets it from, right? I said no,
Hey,
man.
hey.
One more time. One more time.
That was back then, man.
Man, no, that did not sound like a past
That
participle.
came out.
That came out quickly. I'm trying, like
You found yourself here, sorry.
you
I
did.
smiled.
Like and you smiled. I'm trying, Like I'm gonna do it again.
Oh,
Okay, no, thank you. All right, y'all. We are running
Persistence.
in on time because this conversation is good. This conversation is good, y'all. But I have one more topic that I want to discuss before we, close it up for the people. So there was a certain situation that happened here lately in the society. I always
Here we
come
go.
with one of these with society and culture. There was a young woman by the name of Kiki Palmer. And
No, she not.
Now
She
y'all both
went-
took y'all teeth at the
she
same time.
went to
Y'all
a
feel away.
concert with Usher, and her
Ursha, baby.
baby daddy
I
was
don't
like,
your co-host. You doing too
but you're supposed to be the ghost.
No.
Get on your time.
Obviously, Korey has taken the reins, you know. But
He eating it up.
the
too.
father of her child,
Look
of their child. Listen, I can't even get it out.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like, oh boy.
Get
Okay.
it together,
All
co-host.
right, come on.
Okay. All
Get
right.
it together.
Uh,
See, you ain't a good host. You supposed to be able to regroup.
get it back together, Korey.
I'm good.
You good?
As long as I don't look over
Ready?
it, I'm good.
Thank you. All right. So, Keke Palmer, Usher concert, baby daddy, he mad, throw her under the bus. What she got on? Didn't wait till she got home. Called her out publicly. How y'all feel about that? What was the
That
issue?
description is
It
so
was like,
from Tay's
it
perspective.
was.
But that's what
Threw her
happened.
under the bus when she got home. Okay.
I mean, he did it
I want to hear y'all.
publicly,
I don't
not privately. He did it
I didn't really look
publicly.
into it that much. I seen brief stuff on Shade Room about it, but I didn't really look into it.
Let me tell you what
But,
happened.
but yeah.
Okay, so this what happened.
Okay.
Keke Palmer got dressed,
Okay.
bodysuit, whole booty out,
Yeah.
thong,
Mm-hmm.
see-through overthrow. Goes to Usher concert. Just had a baby, probably maybe a month or so ago. Her baby daddy's at home. He sees her out with her girlfriends at the Usher concert. Usher's really close, rubbing. There goes my baby.
Mm.
Singing.
Mm.
Ow! You know, and he goes on social media and says, "You a mama though. Why you doing that?"
He didn't lie.
He said it on social media when he has her phone number because that's his baby mama and she just left the house.
She was gonna answer
She
at
did.
the
Then I
Usher
see a
concert.
comment when she said.
So Twitter
I
was
live
a
with
So
him.
Twitter was appropriate to say that to the mother of your child. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't text her and say that.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Blew up. She responded. You know, pretty much the guy's like. I mean, he's not a famous guy, so it was really her stance to
I'm so
kind
sorry
of.
to that man. You
To-
just said he's not a
Yeah,
famous
He's not
guy.
famous. I mean, he's not. I mean, what people would consider famous.
Mhm.
He is a human, but I'm saying that to say, I said that to say because like I feel like if he was a different person, that would have went a different way.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like if he had status,
How you said it
In that-
is why he
Yeah, why he
the way did.
responded, yeah.
He probably
Because-
has no voice to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then it
Y'all
has
knocking
to.
this
My
man
voice
low.
would have been.
No, no, no.
I'm not saying he don't have a voice.
We don't know because we're not in their
I just don't
relationship.
think it was a.
clue.
But we, yeah, you
Yeah.
got. If he doesn't have their respect, he kind of has
'Cause
to
it really
reach her
made him
any
look like
kind
a
of way.
simp
You
by
know what I'm
going
saying?
online.
They made him look like a simp by going online, right?
Me
That's
personally,
how I
would
feel.
address it
You
at the house.
you
would've
made
never
yourself
hurt
look
my
lower by going online and responding to the mother of your child.
Yeah.
Why did the world have to know you felt
Yeah.
the way?
True.
And then
You-
on top
you
of that, if you
created
want to be
that.
both ways, she created too because she's in that limelight and then she's up on stage with Usher. So
Facts.
with that, so
I was saying,
somebody
yeah.
was gonna have an opinion just like he had anyway.
For him,
But I would have
for her,
never
consider
allowed it
him.
to start on my end. I would have addressed it at the house
Does
if
it
I felt
value that?
If you
gotta
value that,
I mean, so are you equally yoked?
Yeah.
Yes, but just on the outside looking in, just knowing that everyone doesn't value the same things.
Nope.
But I think overall, it was wrong for him to go on
Me too.
Twitter and
Definitely.
do
Me
it. Like,
too.
Yeah, I
what
would've
was
never-
the reason?
Yeah.
That's
What was
for
the purpose?
attention,
You-
responses, support.
Yes.
He wants somebody to bag him.
Yep.
You know, and that's not knowing the specifics. But I think either way, that would
Mhm.
still be wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you have direct communication with her.
Yeah.
True.
Famous or not,
What was the
if
reason?
you dating somebody and you don't like something they're doing, why would you go to Instagram and be like, "Why you got this on?"
Mhm.
Address
True.
that
At
as a
home.
man.
But-
Yeah, as a
but we
man.
don't
Address that behind the closed doors.
But the,
Because he could have did something that she didn't like before and been posted, but you never know about it.
Mhm.
For example, Chance the Rapper's wife. If y'all,
Chance.
that's how he
Wow.
was.
that's
how.
co-host for you. This
Yeah,
man
because
just
he's-
demonstrated.
Jesus,
Chance was having a good
he
time.
was
right?
fired before he got hired. So like at this point, you know,
Remember that video?
he
Didn't you?
drove
Jesus.
vividly. You
Carnival
know,
stood out to you.
yeah.
Good memory.
Carney back.
Don't fault me for your memory.
But like, yeah. So we didn't hear anything from his wife, openly.
Mhm.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
So he made a but she didn't say anything. Like she could have addressed that at the house just like he could have addressed that at the house. And I feel he did that because like he said he wanted backup. He was waiting on Drake to say something.
I'm gonna get to the deeper issue. Really, it wouldn't have been a problem had they discussed that before. She went out, he was at home, whatever. Have the conversation at home.
Well, what do you say? Don't let Usher touch you?
I
He
don't know,
know
I
Usher
don't
was
know
gonna
what
do
you
that.
would say. I don't talk to Keke Palmer.
I'm just saying,
you
in
know,
that scenario,
In that scenario.
your girl is going to a concert with a famous person.
Of course.
What would you say to her? How would that look?
I don't know how that conversation would go, but it would be the same if you got upset at your man for going to a Beyonce concert and she's grinding on him on stage, and then you felt the way. Most women would say they don't care, but let it be someone you care about.
But
then
you
the conversation is different.
you said a previous conversation should happen at home before they go out. Like, what is the dynamic of the previous conversation? Don't go out here acting like a hoe.
I mean,
Clearly, if she got the panties on, the thong on, the butt out, you see what I'm saying?
It
Like,
wasn't the outfit; it was the man.
It was the man.
It hit that ego, and he was like,
He was. I guarantee you,
But
Kiki has dressed like that
but
before. It had nothing to do with that.
He's posted her throwing butt before, so I'm like,
Before
why is
he
it
posted it.
in a cat suit?
Now you're offended.
Yeah.
Why is it a?
You know what
So
you got.
what's the difference?
Yeah, I was
Stand tall
The
in it.
man. The
You
man
had a
was
bad
the
day
difference.
because you had to babysit.
I honestly feel that's what the whole objective there though.
What?
It could be what we're doing now, to have an opinion. When you look at what's going on now with social media,
Mhm.
it's like we seeing all this stuff pop up. This issue with this celebrity, this issue with this
Yeah,
celebrity,
you're
and
right.
we go right to the gossip.
Yeah.
We really don't know the true story.
that's why I'm
behind it.
saying. It's
So
kinda up
how
in the air
we'll get
topic.
our opinion on it,
Mhm.
we don't know what they did that for. We
Facts.
don't know because she already famous.
What, Key?
And then be clear, I don't care.
That's
Yeah,
right. We
yeah,
don't
that's-
care.
Hey, look,
I
that's
really-
exactly,
some
but that's
people
what
invest
they do.
in
They
that.
have written
Yes.
pieces,
Yes.
dissertations.
They
I'm
jump
like,
right on
ooh,
the time it happened. Like
I
they
don't
be the
care.
first one to come in.
Arguing with random
Yeah.
Strangers.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole objective behind that whole
That's good.
So that's why I
thing.
said
So
for real relationships,
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
that's something like we all
Put
know
it in
your
a-
person.
Yeah.
Know your person.
understand what would make him or her mad,
Mhm.
Right.
and then you go from there. That's what that conversation would
Gotcha.
look
And
like.
that's why I
Gotcha.
said
That's why-
it still would have been a matter of discussing it offline.
Don't ever-
Offline.
yeah.
Don't ever. Because people
Famous
in
or
real
not,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
whether-
People
Yeah,
in
like
real
what?
relationships do that. They argue on social media.
Yeah.
And that's wild to me.
Stupid.
Like, that's wild.
That's
People
stupid.
people will throw subliminals. You know they in a relationship with somebody.
Mhm.
They'll throw a subliminal and
Put 'em
they
in, bro.
expect come on.
That
now.
started back.
And they
that's
do
what-
it on
okay.
purpose.
So what if
That's
he
childish.
what if he texts you or says something beforehand, or while you're at the event and you don't respond? How you think that comes?
Well, if I'm at a concert,
Was it
Where's
was it
the phone?
intentional or
Yeah.
were you really not looking at your phone?
yeah,
Like,
'Cause
because
it can
those
happen.
two things can happen.
Mhm.
you can
Depending
ignore.
on where I am, I'm not picking my phone up.
do intentional and then do you just weren't paying attention?
If okay, for
'Cause y'all know when
me,
y'all like.
I'm
oh,
like,
no.
if y'all came from the same house, if
I
there
see
was
the name.
truly, exactly, if they came from the same place, that means he saw her.
You saw that
Couldn't have
booty
been-
right there with the
Now,
thumb.
let me be honest. It could have been an issue and she still did her thing.
Yeah.
Or it couldn't have been an
Mhm.
issue
That's
and she
true.
was
Mhm.
fine.
That's
Yeah.
We don't know. So this
Yeah.
story can honestly play both ways.
Both ways, yeah.
You know, she could have continued even though he voiced his opinion and did it out of spite. Then again, you have to address the dynamics of the relationship, which we don't know. It's
Yep.
too many variables in here
Mhm.
Right.
that could come into play,
This is
which
true.
would influence an opinion.
Mhm.
But for me, it still stands. Overall, address that offline.
Offline. Don't say it.
Even if she
on
did it
social
out of spite, why are you coming at her on Twitter?
On.
She didn't say, "Oh, my man just told me he didn't like this, and I still put it on anyway and post a picture." No, she didn't do that.
No.
You started this and put it on for what?
This
That
is where
was-
we at in the society.
This is true. This is where we are.
I don't
in
subscribe.
society.
I
I
I
don't
don't
either.
have a Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't
me
have one either.
I don't have a Twitter either. But
And she chose him. So
yeah, that's
you
true.
chose this.
The platform.
You
are
knew.
being
can
based.
she really?
He
be mad?
chose her.
Yeah.
True.
You already-
Exactly.
He
You knew
chose
you was
her.
signing up for Kiki.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's no
She's
way.
dressed like this.
She's dressed like this
No
all
way
the
I'm mad at
time.
Beyonce, and I know she's Beyonce. Like, go ahead, do your thing.
You chose it. Stand tall in it, sir. That was mine.
It was here.
Stand
It
in
was here in the beginning.
She did not become a new person. Nothing different happened that she hasn't displayed before.
And he's been there for a while.
You've never said anything online before.
Not
Why
younger
now?
Kiki, but he's been there.
Why now?
Likes.
I don't know. I
Culture
just
is
the
attention
culture is
hungry.
very-
They thrive off of what other people
And they
think.
live in
And
their
what they
lives like
say.
that.
If
Yes.
it decides something, if it makes anything different.
how they gonna date, who they gonna
Yeah.
date, who they date gotta look like. But it's a whole
I'm gonna go with God. I'm
Stay
sorry.
off
Every
social media.
single time.
You better go.
I don't have no problem.
go with God.
I'm sorry, that's my
You
thing.
So
Go with
that's
God.
what they do. Go
Y'all
with God.
pressed for the wrong thing.
The wrong
Wrong
reasons,
thing.
and you be messed up. So yeah, that was good, y'all. All right, so yeah, before we go, because we do have to wrap this up, you guys have been wonderful. I got new co-hosts. I thought it was Kiki. Was like, you know,
I mean,
it's
who
Korey.
signed himself on?
It's
I
still-
mean,
it's still Key.
wrote his own contract.
It's still
My
Key.
goodness.
I
Didn't
said,
let you
okay.
see it. He
It's
was like,
still
I'm in here.
He put
full force.
Injected.
What
You
saying?
didn't
She took too long to
ease in.
warm up?
It just flows with me.
Yeah,
so
she took too long, so he jumped right on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it was
me.
good.
He's still the co-host.
Excuse me. I am not a co-host, nor do I want to be. I'm fine.
You're
You don't know what
co-hosting
God
now.
wants.
I am just, first of all,
You
I
don't.
hate when people do that God thing because I'm not gonna argue. I'm like,
She's
whatever.
not. She'd be like,
I know,
because
that's
that's
why
why
I
we
said
say it.
I don't even know
You
the
want to
point.
know what I figured out
You
this
ain't
whole
gotta say
conversation? If I tell you God said it,
You don't-
yeah, you don't really.
And I may not believe it, but you ain't gonna hear me argue it.
I know.
She's
Like,
not
I
gonna
don't
argue
know.
it. Mm-mm. Well,
That's how we all should be honest.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't like
receive
when
more.
he proves a point.
Because he's
I
gonna
don't
do it.
like it. Like, damn.
And I like when he fight for me. And
Like, don't prove a point, Lord. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna try
she
you
quick
like
to say
that.
that. She'd be like, don't say it, Dang, because you say it. It's I'd be like, well, you see.
I don't play like that.
See,
Do you communicate with God like he's your friend, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to him like you my buddy.
Yeah.
like a homie, or
I
you
call him
like?
Big
I
Homie
love-
JC.
Oh, big
Yeah,
numbers?
yeah, yeah. Big
Yeah.
out.
That's
That's what
interesting, though.
relationship
Yeah,
is
big
about.
guy, not
I
the
never
little
tell
one.
you, big.
I said it. I be
no,
like, that
for
big
real.
guy, not
I
the
feel
little one.
like if you have a relationship, you can do that. You should
You
have
can.
your own way of
You
communicating.
Yes.
You should.
If it's developed,
Yeah.
it's naturally as a human. That's how it's gonna go. You don't speak, professionally with amongst your friends.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Like, come on
You
now.
do, and if he's your
Now,
friend,
quoting scriptures
we code
every
switch.
You don't.
No,
You
you talk
don't.
to
You
him.
talk to
You
them.
really talk to
Exactly.
him.
the way you talk,
Yeah.
because sometimes you just got to be like, all right,
Sometimes,
guys.
if
I
I'm
don't-
stressed,
yeah.
you get an
I
A.
don't.
That's what it is.
I don't even know.
You get an
Like,
A, bro,
this
real
is.
quick.
I be like, God, this is
If I'm
cold.
stressed, hey, Lord, stop playing.
God, this is cold. I be like, God, this is so cold.
Wait.
I don't want to do it. I don't. I'm not ready. Why you do? No, not
I'm
today.
quick with the A, Lord.
Yeah.
Hold up. Take it too fast.
That's good. That's good.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
I
Listen
hit it
to
really
me.
quick.
It's the listen.
You gotta talk to you.
Yeah.
Listen. Wait
Something's
a
wrong.
minute.
When you hit that long with all the ends, listen.
That didn't set right with
Yeah,
me.
right there. That's like, I don't know if I want to do this today. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Get
take
somebody
me
else
slow.
to do it.
Take me slow. Take me slow.
You guys are wonderful. Co-hosts. Everybody co-host today. But it was great. Shon, thank you. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Corey, my dog, you did that. All
It was
right.
dope.
Key,
I like that.
every day of the week. You
All
already
right.
know. Always. It was amazing. It was amazing. And y'all had some stuff to say. I didn't know where this was going to go, Key. But it went where it was supposed to
I
have
knew
gone.
it was going.
You
That's
knew?
why I was trying to sit back.
I didn't know. I was like, I'ma just sit in it. I'ma just host the show. My questions. Corey got questions.
I like mixed
Sean got
conversation.
rebuttals. We
I
in here
love mixed
like
conversation.
it was a lot going on, but it was great because I think it needs to happen more.
Mhm.
Like I knew that I could not, or we could not get on this platform and talk about relationships and talk from a female's
You
perspective.
know what? I know we wrapping up.
What, girl?
But I just said I like mixed conversation, and I think if it happened more, it would help kind of streamline and hone in how men and women relate to each other.
Yes.
Instead
I
of
can
females
agree with
going to their female friends
Mhm.
and going off of that, I'm like, you don't want a male perspective?
Let's talk about
I
it.
love a good male perspective.
Yes.
I have majority male friends, or I did. They kind of slid off, but that's
No,
what
I
I
bet
did.
they
left
did.
him dead. You
They
left
can't
him
be
dead.
friends with
She
you.
left him dead. She left him dead like.
Yeah, Key, you be slicing and dicing.
But my
Yeah.
whole thing is for right now. I think it's for a reason. I think it's a setup because I'm very serious about dating to marry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like anybody who could be a potential problem. I think I just like
Moving them
now.
away.
A couple of those kind of hurt. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, but I understand.
I know.
Rest in peace, my boy.
I know that one hurt, Key. I know.
I don't like that.
I know that one hurt.
I have tried to do it, y'all, but no. But
So should they come back or not?
Oh, we coming
y'all
back.
good. Y'all need
Y'all
permission.
invite yourself back on.
Hey,
Did
let's
you,
have some
wait,
more
wait, wait.
seats.
Did you not run
Tay.
it by me on who to get?
Tay, check
like
this out,
Brittany did. It wasn't. Oh, okay. This was.
So-
this was a.
So let me tell y'all something. This is how this happened. Let me tell y'all how this happened.
How did it happen?
I was like, all right, y'all. We gonna do a relationship. I'm gonna tell y'all. We gonna do a relationship like this, okay? Let me tell you how this went
Tell
down.
her how it went.
And we sitting at the table, we talking, and I was like, you know what? I think Korey would be good for this. I was like, Korey would be good for this, because I know he got something to say. I ain't really even know him like that yet, but I could just see it all over him. He had something. Don't do it.
Ah, look at this one. This is right.
I really did not, because we talked about it. I didn't know. I didn't know. We did talk, but I didn't know. So
When she first presented it, I was like, oh.
yeah. But hold on, I ain't even done yet, because you're not gonna come for me, because I'm about to
Uh-huh.
go right
Yeah,
back on
let's
you.
go.
Okay, that's fine. I can handle it.
You can go.
ahead.
So I said, let's get
So what
Korey.
happened?
He goes.
I did.
Who she said?
I think we should get Shon too.
I did.
Oh,
did.
No.
Y'all, let's not.
Look at this. Look at this. The posture. Doctor Dr.
On
Phillips,
today's
let's
episode,
go.
Netflix and
I never. Now it was
Listen,
like. Tell the people.
it was for accessibility. I was like, all right, this will be easy.
Yeah.
Speak your child.
It was. I swear that
She
was
did.
my initial. I was like,
That was her
okay,
thought
what would
process on
be
it.
easy? Who would be easiest to get to communicate with?
communicate.
What did I say? I said someone who has some sense.
Some,
Didn't I say-
she did say that.
Yeah.
So my boy,
Yeah.
we
That's
can see that you
what
got
I
some
said.
sense.
Yeah, of course.
Good job.
I ain't never talked
Good
to
job.
this man in my life.
She
No.
said that. She did
Ever.
say that.
I was like, I could tell.
You're in the
My
mama
discernment
group.
works a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She
It
said
does.
he got some sense.
I was like, it's because I knew, and I wasn't trying to make it, selfish or anything. I was like, I can't be with people who don't have no
I
sense.
agree with you.
I can't
on
do
that.
it. I cannot. I have no tolerance for it.
Mhm.
I'm like, whoo, you ain't got no sense. Like if you come, if someone else were to come in here clowning and all that extra stuff, like doesn't know when to tone it down, I can't get with it,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
would have been silent.
Well,
I
you wouldn't have been
would've-
on this podcast
Yeah.
anyway because my discernment
Yeah.
stopped here. And I know, before you put your mouth on this
So
mic,
while
you're
you
gonna
tried
have
to
something
play
to-
me,
I did not. try
that
to-
was the reason.
So people, I was not out here trying to play.
So-
Yeah,
It's
you
good.
really
I was
wanted
in.
to slide that in.
Either
I
way,
did.
we
I had
ended up
to.
here.
I had to.
Yeah.
We supposed to be wrapping it up, and we just
Yeah,
having
we ended-
sad
It's cool, it's cool.
But the
conversation.
panel, it worked out.
It worked out wonderfully, you know.
Wonderful
And
I was right.
Key was, I am not
You were
prideful.
right.
Not prideful at all. She was right. Because when she said it, I was like, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm
I'm working
upset.
out. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna work
You
this
gonna do it?
You want to do it?
I'm like, I'm trying to get a set in. You gonna do it?
Not the
Shon,
cookie queen.
why you didn't ask me?
Like what?
I'm like, why bro gotta ask me? Ask your brother.
I did say
I
that.
asked as soon as you
Well, because
asked
I
me
don't
to.
overstep boundaries. I had already asked Korey, and I was like, okay, Korey, ask your brother. That was like, and I had not seen y'all in a minute, and I
It was an
did.
easy
I
in.
did tell Key that I was like, I think it's more professional. Did I not? I was like, it would be professional if I could ask Shon.
Yeah, in person.
In person,
Yeah.
but I don't.
She
I
tried, but
did try. I didn't
didn't
have the
surface,
opportunity.
so.
It didn't happen.
Shoot
So I
me
was
an
like,
email.
Korey,
You know what I'm saying? Next time.
I don't have your email. Like, why would
This man said
we don't work together. I don't have your email just laying around on my
Give it to her
laptop.
so she can CC
Let's-
everybody.
Let's make a group.
professional now.
This man said send him an email.
Or she might still use Hotmail.
Oh my. Hot
You're
mail.
having the long
Yeah,
mail.
You
I have a
way
Yahoo
out.
account.
That is wrong. That's wrong.
cold.
I've
Don't
never
do him
even
like
had a hot mail.
I'm sorry.
That's so cold.
That
She threw
was
him
a
back to
hot mail.
Skype.
She did. She took me all the way there.
Planet.com.
Man. Oh my god.
MySpace.
It was there. I'm sorry.
I'll let you slide. on
Darn.
You owe her one. Okay.
Yeah.
He said email. What was I supposed to do? He set it up for me.
Let it slide. Let it ride.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't do
When
that.
it's a for sure shot, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You coming in hot.
She
Okay.
took it.
Yeah.
She took
I
it.
like
Okay,
that.
that
I
was
like
good.
that.
But since we're done throwing jabs,
It wasn't even
She
a jab.
stabbed you.
It was light.
you just
I rolled
Your
with it.
co-host needs to stop.
it was a light. It was a light.
I
and he
rolled
just-
with it. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
light.
Sean was like, it is what it is. But if you can leave your email, I will definitely email you
Oh,
next
that's
time.
what she
I'm just playing. But yeah, you guys did wonderful. It worked out phenomenal. But I cannot leave this podcast without giving them a scripture moment.
Let's go.
So in Matthew 6:33, the Bible says, "But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be provided for you." I'm gonna tie this back into dating and relationships in a minute, but the Passion Translation says, "So above all, constantly seek God's kingdom and His righteousness. Then all those lesser important things will be given to you abundantly." So when I hear that, or when I heard that, when I got the scripture, because I needed one, because we couldn't be on here without no Bible, because we don't want to lead the people astray. We had opinions, but we also got to give them something to stand on, And with that, I saw, as far as relationships and dating, a lot of people make that their whole life. They're so consumed with finding the one that they don't look to the one to find them for them.
Idolatry.
So it becomes idolatry, and it's like if you do, like it said, the lesser important things, that really don't mean that much to God. You having a companionship and a partner does not mean that much. Will it propel you sometimes? Yes. Does it have to align with your destiny? For sure. Can you live without it? Absolutely. Paul said it. If you're burning, it'd be better for you to marry than to burn. He said it, not me. But I say that to say because a lot of people get so consumed with the whole relationship and the dating thing, finding the one. I'm gonna find my soulmate. I mean, like why don't you just find the path that you're supposed to take and he will align or she will align with it. So that's what I submit for the consideration of the listeners. If that's something that you're extremely consumed with, try God first. Key says great quotes. Amazing. She says go with God. If you go with God, the guy will come, the woman will come, it will work out, it will pan out. So yeah, that's the Bible for the people. And so what I am going to do with these wonderful hosts here is, do y'all have anything to leave? I left them with some word. Y'all can leave whatever you want to leave them with. Long just keep it cute, okay?
You already said mine.
Oh, yeah.
Go with God.
Go with God. Yeah, that's what Key
I'ma
says
wrap it
every
up
time.
every
Key
time.
say go with God. So, Korey, what you want to talk to the men or women or both?
Well, they took my first one, but really, I would say faith over fear.
Yeah,
In all that you do, faith
yeah.
over fear.
Okay, that's good. Sean?
It kind of ties in.
I would say let your motive be God.
Ah, that's good. Let your motive be God. Oh, well, y'all heard it firsthand from Sean, Key, Korey. You know, it's been wonderful. As I always say, get to your local church. Find somewhere you can get rooted and planted, because you're really out here adrift and you need to be anchored, okay? You need God to do anything, even relationships. But also, on the flip side of that, follow us on Netflix and Heal and Instagram. It's Netflix_AND_Heal on Instagram. And get great content. Let us know. You know, if you listen audibly on Apple Podcasts, please rate us. Give us 5 stars, because the more, if you rate us, we move up. And like I always say in my affirmation, this is the #1 podcast in the world. So it is what it is. You know, I speak that thing and y'all see who want it. So if it's #1, then we're what? We're #1 too. So yeah, just be great. And don't be out here doing crazy stuff. And just live
Don't
life.
be for the streets.
Don't be, yeah, that would say it. Don't be for the streets. But it's been great, good people. We greatly appreciate you. And just follow us and tune in. We hope you enjoy. See you soon.